ashes dropping down, we step aside. I'll run away with you to see some light. When ashes dropping down, we step aside. Smoke is scanning to the sky. You can't believe your senses. You think you've seen it all until you open your eyes. I never wanna be alone. This place is cursed. I want you to never leave my side. I'll run away with you to see some light. When ashes dropping down, we step aside. We dream of feeling something. I want you. I know we both escape to lose the ground. The world we used to know is burning down. We're always strong enough to build our own. We've been running for ages to search some light. I want you. I know we both escape to lose the ground. We've been running for ages to search some light. We can feel every day after running for nights. We feel so alive. I'll run away with you to see some light. When ashes dropping down, we step aside. I'll run away with you to see some light. When ashes dropping down, to build our own. Check this.
I don't know about you guys, but I got distracted by that music for a minute.
I know. I was like zoning out on that music, and I looked up and I was like,
Phil, you're it's late.
hey, you know, it's called trance music for a reason.
Okay, this is dubstep, even monstrous. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time to go. Let's do this.
Distance nerding.
Hey! Well, ladies and gentlemen, it's that time again. It's that time again. James already in here saying the show is derailed. And I'm not disagreeing with him in any way.
What did he expect, leaving us alone like this?
I know. Ladies and gentlemen, you are now listening and watching Distance Nerding, a part of the Comic-Con Radio podcast family. She's Spray Girl.
He's Gravy Train Graveyard.
He's young Phil.
And we're here to nerd. Oh, you know what? He came in right at time. Hold on, wait a minute. He's Philip
Hey.
Force.
Hey there, Fours Fours.
It's my peeps.
You are so lucky. We waited just for you.
I know.
You did.
We were 6
Yeah.
minutes late just because we were waiting for you.
Hold
Yeah.
on. I'm trying. Let me get this thing working on my speaker because you're coming out of like the phone earpiece. One sec, so I can actually hear y'all.
The best part of listening.
That'd be my distance nerding crew. Just in for a few minutes. Let's see. Settings. Audio. Oh my gosh.
We're going back. So
Man,
we're
I can't hear you guys like at all.
nerds.
Hold on. There you are.
Hi.
Hey.
Hello there.
Hello there. Y'all caught me all Rico Suave in my jammy shirt.
Oh, wow.
It's adorable.
Yeah, of course. Anyway,
Yeah, guys, we're talking anything pop culture, movies, music, food, wrestling, whatever you're nerding out on, we want to talk about it. Guys, you got to check us out on all the social medias, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, YouTube, Discord, all at Distance Nerding. And of course, don't forget, you can write in, you can send us an email, all distancenerding@aol.com. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, distancenerding@aol.com. It is a thing, not a joke. You can send an email.
Except Jaimez took my email as a joke and sarcastic, and that was the truth.
You knew there was a chance that would happen when you sent that email.
Oh, so great. Forrest, I don't know. I don't know how well you can see the script right now. Are you?
not at all. I'd have to do it completely off memory and it will sound terrible, but I'd like to take a shot.
All right. Well,
Okay.
let me do on deck real quick then, so that way we can get into it. So this week on deck, we've got the Geekend Update.
Yay.
We're on a Comic-Con radio.
Oh.
Starting rumors. Is Constantine getting sent to hell again? The download. There's a new Caped Crusader patrolling Amazon Prime.
Hmm.
And of course, the return of the breakdown. The one
Oh.
with the Mythosaur, Mandalorian Season 3, Episode 2. Oh, man.
Yes.
I'm excited to get into that one. But before we do all of that, of course. But first, let me get a shout out. You wanna try and go for Poddex?
No, I'll try Dubby. I won't try Poddex.
All right, let me do Poddex then. Ladies and gentlemen, this whole channel and everything we do is brought to you by Poddex. Poddex are a unique interview question and episode starting prompt in the palm of your hand. So whether you are a new podcaster or an existing broadcaster looking to grow your audience or get more engagement, you're going to want to check out poddex.com. Now, ladies and gentlemen, use that code NERDING10 to get 10% off your order. It is completely worth it. Graveyard can tell you all day about how awesome Poddex are.
Yes, confirmed. The code does work. No, it's. I'm excited. You guys know what my upcoming adventures are aspiring to be, and just gotta talk to you guys about equipment, and I'm good to go because I got the full-on package of Poddex.
Oh yeah, and
Yay.
I'm gonna help you with that too, man. So
Sweet.
no worries. I'm going
Fret,
to have equipment.
fret not, dear son.
Exactly.
Yes.
All right, Forrest, shot in the dark. Let's do it.
This is going to be so inaccurate. It's going to be laughable. But here we go. You ready? Now we're going to make a shout out to Dubby.
To Debbie, you say?
Yes,
Dubby?
Dubby. All right. Completely unscripted. Dubby is an emerging brand of energy drink filled with 150 milligrams of caffeine to keep your gaming craziness rocking and rolling. Dubby contains no maltodextrins, no artificial flavors, no artificial sugars. It's keto friendly and all those great things for you. You can get Dubby at www.dubby.gg. And Master, are you on vacation with me? Why, yes, I am. You can use code NERDING10 for 10% off your purchase. Now back to your vacation. Yes, back to my vacation. Yes, so www.dubby.gg. Use code NERDING10. Young Phil, what flavors do you have on deck tonight?
GG! All right.
That was such a desperate attempt to remember all that, and I blew it.
No, you didn't, man.
You did
got the
really well.
Majority of everything there, man. I mean, that's essentially you've got everything in there. Of course, we didn't talk about Neurofactor, but you know what? We're fine. We're going to talk about just Dubby in general and how amazing Dubby is, right? Guys, flavor wise, I don't know what flavor should I go with.
What you got?
Well, ladies and gentlemen, let me move Optimus Prime out of the way here.
You mean roll out Optimus Prime?
Roll out.
Hey guys, I love you all, but I have got to bounce because I'm sharing a room.
With Matsuroshi, we heard.
Yeah.
Well, of course. No, seriously though. No, vacation's going pretty good. I will give you guys the update probably on Kyber Cave After Dark on Friday, but much love to my distant starting fan. Husbeard, I miss you so much.
Yes.
All right, y'all. I love you guys. Have a good night.
No worries.
Have a good one.
Have a good night, man.
Peace.
Flavor profiles. Let's go. I've got Passion Joy Tea. I've got Push and Punch. I've got Galaxy Grenade. I've got Beach and Peach. I've got oh, you know what? For sure. I am going to put some Dragonade in this one because I haven't been doing Dragonade for a while. Dub Sludge, and of course, Big Energy Tears.
I'd say the first one.
I think he's comboing them.
No, I'm saying like with because he wanted to do that the Dragonade.
Oh, so if we do Dragonade and Passion Joy Tea?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Passion of the Dragon.
Passion of the Dragon. I've done this one before. It is deliciousness. It is a very fruity Arnold Palmer.
There you go.
Because it is iced tea with passion fruit and dragon fruit lemonade.
Nice. I've yet to get any W, but I'm scared it will do to me.
We gotta get some W, man. We gotta get you some W.
I would never sleep again. Like I have such a hard time going to sleep anyway. That I just can't imagine that.
We would just have to make a deal that when you guys took your W, like Graveyard, it would have to be before you play a game.
Right. There we go.
Or before Saturday morning nerd out.
That's true.
Oh.
We could do that. Yeah. Because that's coming up.
Place your coffee.
Right.
Exactly.
Forget that sugar. Go for the dub.
It's got no sugar, so it makes it that much better.
Yeah.
Grab water, and it's great because the water that I had left filled up the whole thing. I just don't have water for the rest of the episode. Fine.
Must make Phil talk more. No, I'm just kidding.
Nothing wrong with this. It's fine.
Everything's fine. It's all fine.
Everything's awesome.
How are you?
Do I talk? Do you talk? Do I talk? I talk? You talk? That's my favorite part of the Poe when Poe meets Kylo Ren. He's like, do you want to talk? Do I talk? Do you want me to go first?
So how do we do this? Do I talk? You talk?
Yeah. I love it. How do we do that?
All right, gotta go jump back into the chat here. See James, New Tropics, Autobots, roll out. Wait, who's sharing the room? Who's he sharing? You know what? That is the question I want to know. Who is he sharing?
That is,
with?
yeah.
Wonder, is I don't know. Aaron Watson, what flavor makes your channel your inner 10-year-old prepubescent boy the most? Actually, the flavors we did.
if you had Ecto Cooler the mix, throw that into it, that would do it.
Oh my gosh. I think your head would
You
explode.
just brought back all the Saturday morning vibes right there, man. Just
Yeah.
Mhm.
next time Tyler comes over and mixes it, but you don't get to know what's in it. You know,
Ooh.
I like that idea. Oh, snap. Oh, is that's Thomas Wong in the building. How's everything doing today? Thomas, we're doing great, man. It's great to see you back in the chat. It's been a while, man. You know what's funny is you're coming back in time, and we just announced a new giveaway for Thursday. So if you're in the chat on Thursday, there's a chance you might win it again, man. Is it Pluggables time? Jesus Christ. Aaron Watson, where the hell is James? You know where James is? He is just abandoning us like he always does.
He's in the bed with Thor's.
He's the one that's in the room with us right now.
Right.
If Philippe mixed the drinks before the show would be half hour shorter. It's true.
Oh wow. That's yeah.
The chat is going ham right now. I cannot keep up with the amount of stuff that's going on in there right now.
Yeah.
James did say Thomas is here to win some shit.
Oh my gosh.
Ghost is the best. Oh, that's right. He plays Destiny too.
Yeah.
Oh shit! Garland's in the building too. What is happening? Right? I didn't even summon Garland.
How do you summon him?
What? Right there.
Okay.
What? That's how you summon Garland. Not with that one.
Well, I just got a whole bunch of alerts saying that Ted Lasso season 3 is now on Apple TV, everyone. So
Wait, I thought that wasn't for like another 2 days.
no, I guess it dropped today.
Oh, I'm watching that after I get off the show tonight.
I know. I don't know if we will. It'll depend.
I'll be sleepy.
Mhm.
Yeah. Well, I have been I've been neglecting the rest of the show, so let's get into this, guys. It is now time for everyone's end of the weekend segment. It's time for the Geekend Update. Oh yeah, that happened. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, the Geekend Update is now here. My mic was turned all the way down. There we go. Guys, super excited for this collaboration. If you guys haven't heard us talk about it for the last couple of weeks, we are a part of Comic-Con Radio, and we're bringing more distance nerding to more nerds around the globe. You can now listen to Distance Nerding and our second show, Comic Conversation, via ComicConRadio.com. Shout out to our new friends and the Comic-Con Radio family, Geek Saga, Behind the Mask, which are both same hosts but two different shows, and Comic Cosmic Nation, and of course our latest, I guess I was gonna say our latest acquisitions. We aren't in there.
Thank you all for coming. Wait, what? Thank you all for coming to our annual stockholders meeting. I hope everyone's because we're acquiring things now. Apparently, I'm in merge and acquisitions. That's my job. I just merge and acquiesce. I don't know.
But yeah, newest members of Comic-Con Radio, Comics Podcast, and of course, a certain podcast that may rise from the grave and mostly come at night at certain times of the night. No, different
And
times.
knock on your door and then leave.
Night, mostly.
There we go.
Yes.
Guys, look for all the
Okay. I found this on the web for Hey Certain Podcast. Maybe
I'm sorry. Siri decided to. Did you guys hear that?
Yes.
Okay,
You
good.
said, you said the magic words. I programmed it into your Siri just so you say my name and the podcast name. It just blurts out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, who's talking to me right now? Okay. Look for all those shows and the Distance Nerding podcast including this episode you're listening to right now, and a new comic conversation every week. Find both of our shows at comicon-radio.com/podcasts. Do me a favor, someone pop that into the chat for everybody to get
I
there.
got it. I got it.
Sweet.
Beard in the chair. I know how to do my
Beard in the chair. Now, ladies and gentlemen, this is coming up fast. Gem State Comic-Con, here we come. The longest running Comic-Con and pop culture convention in Idaho. Gem State Comic-Con is an Idaho tradition and Idaho's official Comic-Con. April 1st and 2nd at the Expo Idaho. Come meet celebrities, check out panels with Burton Gilliam from Blazing Saddles. Oh, yeah, look at that face on Grave. Right?
That's awesome.
We're going to be talking to Burton Gilliam. Peter Columbus, who is the original voice of Goku and Rolf from Ed, Ed and Eddie. Robert Costanza, who was in Total Recall, Die Hard 2, Saturday Night Fever, and of course, all the nerds out there may know him as Harvey Bullock from the Batman animated series.
Awesome.
Right? Andy McAfee, who played Sarah in The Land Before Time. She was in she played Phoebe in Hey Arnold. She was in the Tom and Jerry movie and all kinds of stuff like that. One of my favorite people that we've met so far, Jessie Flower, who plays Toph Bay Fong in Avatar: The Last Airbender.
That's awesome. Yeah, I saw she was going to be there.
Yeah, she's so cool. I love Jessie so much. David Chung, he's an actor that was in Andor, 47 Ronin, Black Widow, Doctor Strange. He was in Willow. He was in Fantastic Beasts, Age of Ultron, and his latest upcoming film, Aquaman 2.
Oh,
right. And then I guess he was in Batgirl, but that didn't, the
what girl?
He was in Batgirl. Supposedly he's supposed to be in Batgirl and the Marvels. This dude is in all kinds of stuff. Fun fact: not only are we going to be interviewing him at Gem State, but the week after we get out of Gem State, he's going to be on the show.
that's awesome.
Yeah, so
that is awesome.
He already booked and was like, yeah, I want to come on your show. And he booked for the 7th. So the week after, when we get back from Gem State, he's going to be on the show. So that's going to be fun.
That is going to be fun.
Yeah. And let's not forget the OG Power Ranger baddie herself, Carla Perez, aka Rita Repulsa, is going to be there.
Wow.
Right? Guys,
That's awesome.
I know, right? It's jam-packed 2-day show on April 1st and the 2nd. If you can make your way to Boise, Idaho, make yourself there. We will be there. Hey, we're gonna be giving away prizes. What I'm probably gonna do, I think I'm gonna give away a prize to the person who traveled the furthest to get there.
Oh wow, that's awesome.
Yeah.
I'm not going. So you don't have to give me the prize. Just letting you know that right now. No. So I lived in Boise for a while. I was little. I was a little person. And
Frey, you've lived everywhere. I'm jealous.
It's the perks of being immortal. You can just wander around places.
True.
Yeah. So yeah. And Blackfoot. I lived in 2 places in Idaho, Blackfoot and Boise. So yeah.
Wow. So guys, find out more about Gem State Comic-Con. Go to gemstatecomiccon.com for tickets, special autograph packages, and all the details for the show.
Oh, and James pointed out Cam's going to be there as a special guest, right?
Yes, that's right.
Yeah.
We linked up Cam with Dave Hayworth, who he's going to be on here. He's going to be on the show on the 21st to promote Gem State. But we hooked Cam up with Dave, and he's now a featured cosplayer for Gem State.
That's so cool.
Nice.
That's gonna be awesome.
So awesome. Again, we met Cam at Gem State last year. A lot of participation. He was in on all the stuff that we were doing. He had a whole bunch of fun. He became a super fan for our show, and yeah, man, now he's moving on to bigger and better things from us. So I'm all for it, and I love that he is getting more attention and everything like that. You guys had fun with him when he was on the show a couple weeks
Oh
ago.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It was fun.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you know.
Yeah, he's actually planning on starting his own podcast pretty soon, and I've been giving him advice too. So I'm excited for that.
Sweet.
Yeah. So with all that being said, all the formalities and everything out of the way, guys, it's time to get into the content portion of the show. Let's get into this. You guys ready?
Yeah, let's
Ready.
do this.
All right. Well, let's do this then. So we're gonna start off with some rumors. You guys good with that?
Yeah, let's do some rumors.
All right. Oh yes. Oh, it is rumor time.
I love when you look at me and Phil and you look at Graveyard and it's like we're just all like dancing with it, like we're in a boy band or something.
I don't even know the song.
And Graveyard's just sitting there stoically like, I do not dance.
He's like, I'm a Nordic white man. I don't dance.
Exactly.
It's the whole Guardians of the Galaxy theorem, like in action. They're the dancers and the non-dancers.
Yeah, that's pretty accurate.
Well, let's get into these rumors here, guys. Starting off the rumor mill this week, HBO Max is planning to reveal a name change, a new price, and some new shows. Now, this kind of surprises me because HBO Max is still super new. But you know, we'll get into the rumor here. So, according to Bloomberg, when Warner Brothers Discovery reveals their official plans for the new HBO Max Discovery Plus combined streaming service, it will seemingly maintain the same pricing that HBO Max already has, which is $10 for ad-supported tier and $16 for no ads, while also adding a third tier at $20 with a higher video quality and other features. The outlet reports that these plans could still change ahead of the reveal of the service, which will just be titled Max in just a few weeks. So it's very creative.
Yes.
I mean, really, you have all of those letters, and HBO as a brand has been around forever. Like at least what 30 or 40 years. I mean, it's right around there.
If they just mix letters, it could say box ham. I mean, it's right there.
Right. But I'm just saying, like,
Not
you know,
wrong.
why would you take HBO off, first of all? Because that's the thing that's going to give you the most brand recognition. And then
I think what it is because they're realizing that they're expanding past HBO. Like they have multiple brands on HBO Max.
Mhm.
yeah.
And that, you know, now it's Discovery Plus, and then I think they just merged with another streamer. So I mean, like, there's just so much that's going on that they feel like HBO Max is limiting them from what they.
Just saying that brand. Yeah, that does give it a certain, like, you hear HBO Max and you're like, oh, it's going to be movies and documentaries and stuff, but you
Right.
don't think about like other things. So yeah, I could see that.
Yeah,
But
so
I mean, Max.
I don't like the idea of just calling it Max. You know, I think that they can do something a little more creative than that. But I mean,
Max Power.
Right.
Max Power.
Right. Ultramax. No, that sounds bad.
Ultra Maxi Pad. So Warner Brothers Discovery plans to reveal further details about the combined HBO Max Discovery Plus streaming service on an April 12th press day. So we'll be seeing it sometime next month, and actually about a month from now. Is that
Does
about right?
Does it need a press day? Really?
I mean, it's a big enough thing that's probably what they're kind of like going for, is like, oh, we can make it a whole press thing.
You know, their track record just hasn't been that good lately. Maybe they should just
That's why they're changing names. That wasn't us. That was
Yeah.
those guys.
yeah.
Yeah.
They just need to cut their losses and just kind of just quietly do these things and move on.
Now,
I just-
here's the
that's-
question, because again, this is a rumor, right?
Mhm.
Tacos on the table. Are they calling it Max?
I'm going to put all my tacos on the table because I think that this is the boneheaded enough name that yes, they will call it that. And I want to say no, I don't want to put them on there, but no, this is totally up that alley. I mean, some of this crap that's been named, and it's just like what? So yeah, no, this is totally, yep, totally. All the tacos are on the table. I will not eat any.
Yeah, I mean, I completely agree with Frager on that. They're that dumb.
Yeah, and
all tacos on the table for that.
Yeah, I'll put half a taco on the table on this one just because I want them to not be that dumb.
Zaslav.
I was gonna say, then again, Zaslav not the greatest when it comes to this stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know, this is the dude who decided, you know what, we don't need another Batman cartoon. Like, are you serious?
Yeah.
You know what we should do? Let's cancel Westworld at the height of its of the series.
Mm-hmm.
These are the decisions that this guy's making. So,
yeah. Oh, and not only just cancel it, let's go ahead and take it completely off of the platform and sell it to another platform.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I guess it's going to another platform that's their platform. They're trying to get into the same streaming, the free streaming arena that like Tubi and Pluto TV are in.
Yeah. Well, yeah. No, you don't.
That
that is
right
not
there.
the show that you put on there. You know, I mean, no.
The problem being, I don't have an issue with them putting that on there. My issue is that they canceled it, like, and that we're not going to get another season of it.
Yeah, because we needed to find out. Like, it looked like they all had been slapped around, and now this is the denouement. We need the denouement.
Netflix just canceling good things in the middle of the show.
Yeah, I know, right? So let's move on to the next.
Do you want me to do this one?
Please do.
All right. Star Wars. We have a rumor that claims the Mandalorian introduced the villains from Skeleton Crew. So that's interesting. And you know, the Mandalorian season 3 is off to a good start. And yeah, absolutely. So, but the new rumor, it suggests that some of the figures that these episodes have introduced could be setting the stage for the upcoming series Star Wars Skeleton Crew. So do we think it's the pirate guy?
I think it is.
I think
it's just him and his whole crew in general. Like,
yeah.
What was his name? Gorian Shard.
Yeah, which is an awesome name for a pirate anyway.
I mean, in general, that's a badass name. Like,
yeah.
It's a badass pirate name. It's also a badass Star Wars name, Gorian Shard. Like,
yeah,
he's gonna fuck some shit up. That's basically what it is.
And you know, he's gonna have that quippy line where he does it. He goes, "You've been sharded" or something, and it's gonna catch on, and like, this is the way did. It's just gonna be a big thing.
Or you know, jokes left on the table that aren't going to be used, that he sharded on somebody.
That's right, exactly. All right, so specifically they said chapter 17, the apostate, featured multiple pirate characters, including the otherworldly Gorian Shard, who is rumored to be the antagonist in the Skeleton Crew. So I'm wondering if he's gonna be like this big mega boss,
right?
And like, he's gonna have other things, and like, maybe he'll deal with Hondo, because I'd love to see Hondo. And this is right up Hondo's alley.
Because Hondo's a pirate too. So I mean, that would be great to see, Hondo, a live action Hondo, because we've seen his race live action. We just haven't seen Hondo.
Yeah, absolutely. But additionally, they said they speculated that the pirate Vane, you know, the like lieutenant guy, who was confronted by Carl Weathers' Grief Karga, who I love him. He's like one of my favorites. On Navarro will also tie into the upcoming series. So that's kind of cool too. So it's not just, hey, here's the green piratey guy. It's like all of his whole crew, which I guess is Vane now. But yeah.
Him and his seaweed beard.
Hey, Space Swamp Thing.
Space
Swamp Thing. That's exactly what it is.
Right. So Skeleton Crew does not yet have a release date, and new episodes of The Mandalorian, they are premiering on Disney Plus on Wednesdays. So maybe we'll see more of these guys and get to know, who knows, maybe we'll get like a cameo from Jude Law's character or something in here that does a soft pilot, not even a soft pilot, but like a soft cameo.
What if, and we didn't know it, what if Jude Law did the voice for Gorian Shard?
Oh, that would be so cool. That would have been cool.
And they just didn't say anything about it, you know, like that. could be a thing.
Yeah, that would be neat. And they do stuff like that all the time. Like people dress up in like the the stormtrooper gear and stuff, and you don't know who they are.
Prince
Right.
Harry. Yeah.
Right.
Right. That's right. So tacos on the table on this one, guys. Do we believe that the space pirates we saw in episode in the Apostate are going to be the villains in Skeleton Crew?
I would love them to be the villains. I really would. I think that's kind of brilliant because we know that the Skeleton Crew is going to be this like unknown regions area, and it's just going to be these misfits trying to make it through the whole of the empire. And why not have pirates be up against them? They could be scavengers or salvage people.
It makes a lot of sense, specifically because the way that they've described Skeleton Crew is supposed to be the Goonies in space. So them going up against pirates makes sense.
Definitely. So yeah, I would say I put my tacos on the table. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
What about you, Grave?
I'd half, because I think we are going to get a live action Thrawn, especially with the unknown region.
Well, yeah. I mean, we know we're getting a live action Thrawn. He's going to be in
Ahsoka.
Yeah, I'm saying that, but I think he's be the main bad of Skeleton Crew overall.
Okay.
Oh, so you think they're just going to tie it in?
I like the idea of it. I'd love, especially because of the EU part of it, I'd love to see, because realistically, a lot of the Imperial remnants from the rebellion went into the unknown regions.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And I think could also see an inkling of the rise of the First Order from this as well.
That would be cool. Again, some of the stuff that we do have that's confirmed is that Skeleton Crew is going to be standalone, and it's not going to tie into anything that we know right now. So that's kind of like that's where my belief in, like, because Thrawn is going to be a main villain, a mainline villain.
Yeah.
Throwing these characters into the Mandalorian and them just kind of being like if we don't see them for the rest of the season, then it's going to make it even more believable that these are the villains for or at least people attached to these guys are going to be villains for Skeleton Crew.
Do you think they'll be just this first season or the main antagonist throughout the entire series?
I think they'll be the main antagonist throughout the entire series.
Okay.
So,
and I mean, we don't know. It could be a huge network, pirate network that that connects to some bigger, badder person, and this may just be their boss battle for this season with Shard, but there may be somebody above him that they upset in the meantime.
Right. So like the kids Shard Ungorian Shard.
Yeah.
So Phil, what all your tacos on the table for this?
My tacos are on the table 100% for this one. All right.
That's awesome. We were all like, I like when this happens, when there's a couple and we're like, we really totally think. And then there's one that's like, I don't know about this. Cause I like that. It's balance.
Yeah. Grave, I was going to ask you to take the next one, but actually I want you to take the last one.
Thank you.
I was going to ask for that one. As soon as I saw that, I was like, oh, wait a minute. No, I forgot what that this was in there. And I'm like, yeah, no, I'm going to let you take the last one. I'll take the next one. Right. So all of a sudden, Keanu Reeves is casting doubt on Constantine 2. It's a little scary here. A few weeks ago, it was confirmed by Warner Brothers that Constantine 2 was in the works and that Keanu Reeves would be reprising his role as John Constantine. In a recent interview with comicbook.com, Reeves was asked about the status of the project, and his reply was disappointing. Reeves said, "I was hoping it would, but we don't know. Yeah, we're trying." That answer does kind of make it almost seem like he doesn't know if it's happening anymore. And I don't know if it's something that has to do with Peter Safran and James Gunn. I don't know if it's just that they don't have the right script and he doesn't know if it's going to go right. I mean, again, for all the things I did like about the first Constantine, I felt like Keanu Reeves got the essence of the character down. He just wasn't the character for me.
Yeah, he understands John Constantine, I think. but I don't know if he's the right actor to play John Constantine. And
Right.
there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, he is a very good actor, but yeah, I don't know. There's just something about him. He's it may just be his voice, because he's got that voice that no matter if he's mad or not, you're like, oh, but he's being so cute, or he's being, he's got that lilt to his voice where you're like, but he's trying to be happy, that kind of thing. And so that may be it. You
Right.
need somebody with that down, gravelly, I've been smoking for 180 years kind of
Not
voice.
necessarily that. Like Matt Ryan plays him perfectly.
Yeah, he does. I love Matt
I-
Ryan.
Is
won-
that the Constantine CW show? Constantine?
Yes.
Yeah.
Matt Ryan, because Matt Ryan had the Constantine TV show on NBC that was canceled after the first season, which I was pissed about because that show was so good.
It was really good.
Yeah, but NBC, I mean, they're known for canceling everything after the first season. So it's like,
Yeah.
they canceled John Constantine. And then there were rumors that Sci-Fi was going to pick it up and they were going to change the name to Hellblazer, which got me all excited. Because I was just like, oh my God, homage to the book much?
Right.
Because he came from the Hellblazer book. So
Yeah.
the whole book was Hellblazer. So I was like, oh my God, like that would be amazing to have Matt Ryan play John Constantine in a Hellblazer series. And then that didn't come to fruition. He ended up on he first appeared post Constantine on Arrow.
Mhm.
And then we see him again, and he was kind of like not a main character, but like he was a recurring character on Legends of Tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just kind of like, and then Matt Ryan also does the voice of the character in all the animated stuff now.
Yeah.
Now,
he
what
does.
about the actress that played Constantine in Sandman?
I don't have a problem with her, but what I did like is that Neil Gaiman specifically said that she's not this Joanna, that version of Joanna
Mhm.
Constantine is not the same as John Constantine. He was saying
Yeah.
that they did not gender bend John Constantine. They just changed the character in the story.
Mm.
Right. Yeah.
Right?
They did because I mean,
Because-
and that's really it. She's associated with John, but she's not John. She's not
Yeah.
like a gender bended John. But John did have like a great grandmother that was named Joanna
Right.
Constantine. So some people were saying that might be who she is or whatever. I
Well-
loved her. She's cheeky. I love Jenna Coleman. She's
Right.
so cheeky.
The way that Neil Gaiman put it was her namesake is the great grandmother
Right.
of
Mhm.
Joanna Constantine, who we saw in the show.
Yeah.
Right, because there was a scene
Yeah.
where you do meet Joanna Constantine, like the medieval Joanna Constantine.
Mhm.
And then this version of Joanna Constantine, he confirmed it without saying it, but basically said that she's a cousin.
Yeah.
John's.
It's not
Right.
like, yeah.
Yeah, so like she essentially said that she's John's cousin, that down the road somewhere, if they get more seasons, which we are getting a season 2, that we may meet John Constantine down the road. If they tie everything together and they make that version of John Constantine Matt Ryan, and that's how we get between everything, especially now that they're doing multiverses, like this is the perfect time to bring in Matt Ryan to be John Constantine, because I don't
Yeah.
think anybody else could play that character as well as he has.
Yeah. He really has. I mean, he had the swagger, the confidence, the
Right.
death wish. I mean, he had all of it. It was just, I mean, I was like, I like you, Matt.
You know who I would feel would be a good John Constantine? Misha Collins.
Oh,
Oh.
you know what? He would
That's one
be.
too.
That would be amazing. He just goes
Because
from one
he
damned
is-
spirit to another.
Well, he is that
next.
he essentially played John Constantine as Castiel, I feel.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think if they did like a multiverse thing and did Keanu Reeves coming in as John Constantine, meeting Matt Ryan as John Constantine, I think that would be a cool thing.
Mhm.
What I would like to see Keanu Reeves do is him come in and play Boston and be Deadman.
That would be cool. I would not mind him being Deadman at all. I do like Boston.
Especially if they're planning on doing, because they've been talking about it for a while, but if they're planning on doing Dark Avengers, You know, that's a way to bring in Deadman, and we'll have Swamp Thing, we'll have Deadman, we'll have and they've already said they're bringing they're already bringing in Zatanna. We'll have John Constantine, and then I mean, there's a couple of different characters you could bring on for the rest of Dark Avengers.
So the Dark Justice League.
Oh, sorry, Dark Justice.
I'm like, what? No, they haven't bought each other yet. Come on. Give
Sorry,
us
sorry,
a little-
Dark Avengers is also something that's happening too, but I mean,
Well, yes.
but that's different universe. Sorry, yeah, Justice League.
Yeah, no, I think it's great. I've been wanting this, to happen. I'm still looking for my Authority comic books. I don't know where the heck I put them, but because I want to reread all of them just to be ready, because I love Authority. But
I was gonna say, now that we've got everybody caught up on John Constantine and kind of the background and all that, we never answered the question. Do we
oh,
see what's happening?
sorry. I, I wouldn't be sad if it didn't happen.
Right.
And
Really?
I mean, he's doing John Wick. I really think he's going to be doing something for the MCU really quickly. I don't know why I feel that. I've heard nothing. I don't have a pulse on anything, but for some reason, I think he's going to MCU. And I think that might be what's causing this to not happen, because he's suddenly not available anymore. I think that's more than likely, because the way he says it, I was hoping it would, but we don't know. Yeah, we're trying. So that sounds like it's not just they're having a conversation about it. So something's happening, not just on one end. I think like he's either not available when they want him to be available, or it's not going to happen like he wants it to happen. So I think it's a 50-50. I'd put half my tacos on the table, probably.
Keanu Reeves is Sentry.
Yeah,
Tell me that wouldn't be badass though. Keanu Reeves is Sentry.
that would be pretty good.
He's a little old for Sentry. But I mean, like, be kind of cool to see him as Sentry.
You know what would be really funny? If they cast him as Reed Richards.
Mm.
They're like, yeah, we decided to go older with them, and they cast him as
Out
Reed
my
Richards.
W.
I know, right? Would that not be out of left field? Be like, yeah, and our Reed Richards, here's Keanu Reeves, and everybody's like, everyone's jaws just drop to the floor.
You're
That'd be
wonderful.
Right?
Grave, what do you think, man? You think Constantine 2 is happening or it's not happening?
I'm take a bite of the taco and then put the rest on the table. Because what I think he's implying is Constantine 2 is not happening, but he's coming as Constantine, just not in Constantine 2. Like he's going to be like the Incredible the Hulk, where he doesn't have his own standalone movie in this new universe, this new Gods and Monsters chapter.
Again, like, I like Keanu Reeves, the way he portrayed the character as Constantine. I just, there's certain things about him. Like I just, maybe this is the purist in me, but I feel like John needs to be British. Right. And
Yeah.
Keanu plays him as an American. So, I mean, it's kind of like, I kind of want him to be a Brit, and that's part of the appeal of the way that Matt Ryan plays him.
Well, because Matt Ryan is British.
Because he's British, yeah. But I mean, also just Matt Ryan, I feel like he has more of the swagger, whereas Constantine, Keanu Reeves takes in more of the seriousness of that character.
Yeah, it's with Keanu Reeves, and you think, okay, because I mean, John Constantine, let's just face it, he is a man whore. He is a whore.
Super witty though, too. That's the
other,
like I feel like Keanu Reeves' character is too serious, and he doesn't get that. He doesn't have that kind of like witty comedic part about him the way that Matt Ryan does.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. But I just can't see Keanu Reeves being a man whore. I mean, whether he is or not in real life, that's my big thing. Yeah. And that's my big thing, is that I can't see him being a man whore. And that's part of the thing. Constantine has all the vices. He has to, because it's the only thing making him feel like he's still human. Right. And so, that's part of it. And it's that plucky death wish, but I really don't want to die kind of thing that he's got going on. Right. And I just don't know if Keanu hit that on the first one. Now, granted, he was much younger when he did it, so
So Phil, do you think it will happen with someone else?
I don't think it'll be in this line of movies. I don't think it'll be like a continuation of the storyline that Keanu Reeves did. Because that was very one-off, the way that they did the storyline and all that, right? Like, I mean,
Yeah.
we've now had two separate actors since I'm forgetting his name, the Russian actor. I don't think he's Russian actually, but I mean the guy who played Satan in
Peter Stormare?
Yes, Peter Stormare. That's right. We've already had two actors come in and play Lucifer since then, right? So
yeah.
it's like, you know, and you know, it's
And people want to see Tom Ellis again. Let's just face it.
people do want to see Tom Ellis. Not that I have any issue with the way that Gwendolyn Christie, the way that Gwendolyn Christie played the character, because I loved her portrayal of
I did too.
Lucifer. I thought she killed it.
Yeah.
But I feel like Tom Ellis is the essence of that character.
And yeah, I would say he is closer to what the comic book envisioned, and that absolutely. So I would say Thomas, but I really did enjoy Gwendolyn Christie as Lucifer. I thought she was fantastic.
I did love, and this is also part of the problem. Like this version of Constantine would have to be Elseworlds, but Digimon Hansu as Brother Midnight was so dope.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
So good, as because when he started getting angry and you see everything start just kind of like shaking around him, like oh man, you see, you know, that future Sorcerer Supreme coming out in him, like not Sorcerer Supreme, sorry, that future what was he?
It was something like that. It wasn't Sorcerer Supreme though.
No,
it was like
he had Nuru's helmet. He had Nabu's helmet.
like Dr. Fate. So
Dr. Fate, like the future Dr. Fate, because Brother Midnight became Dr. Fate for a while. So I was like, you know, you kind of see.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, like you see why Nabu was attracted to him, because he had a lot of natural power in him in himself as to begin with. And Nabu's always attracted to characters that have power. That's why he ended up going to Zatara. That's why he ended up going to just kind of the people that he went to, was because they were naturally imbued with power. So yeah, I mean, you can kind of see just like that future, you know, I am one of the strongest magic wielders in existence, and I will kill anybody who gets in my way.
Yeah. And I can do it. I can back it up.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, barring staying on this subject too much longer, let's go ahead and move into the next thing, because we could talk about Constantine all day. And
I was gonna say, and that branches out to Sandman and branches out to, you know, like
I was gonna say
Preacher, and
we can talk about Vertigo properties all day.
Exactly.
Let's jump into this next one.
Yes. So Beetlejuice 2 reportedly in development with Tim Burton, Michael Keaton, Jenna Ortega, and more. There's been reports of Beetlejuice 2 happening for many years, happening and not happening on and off forever, I feel like.
Yeah.
And Tim Burton and Michael Keaton have always seemed they're open to the sequel, but the project's never been able to get off the ground, or out of the ground, if you will.
Yeah. Okay, I see what you did there.
Yeah. So now it looks like the longer-awaited sequel might actually be happening. The sequel is finally a go, with Burton reuniting direct Keaton and coming back to reprise his role as the bio-exorcist Beetlegeist, or Beetlejuice.
Beetlejuice.
Beetlegeist, yes.
Beetlegeist.
You said it 3 times.
Aha! Maybe it'll finally happen.
Right.
Also, Winona Ryder is said to be coming back as Lydia Deetz, Catherine O'Hara returning as stepmother Delia Deetz, and Jenna Ortega is set to star as Lydia's daughter as well.
Interesting.
So, I mean, yeah, it's as long as it's not Beetlejuice Goes to Hawaii, which was the reported sequel in development hell for 25 years.
I mean, you don't want to see him do like musical numbers on the beach and surf the waves and
No. But tacos on the table is: are we getting Beetlejuice too? Beetlejuice.
Beetlejuice.
Well,
What do you think, Phil?
I have some
Yeah.
opinions on this. So
Yeah, go for it. Go
Go
for
on.
it.
well, I think it's great that they're getting Winona and Catherine O'Hara, but I love Catherine O'Hara. She's amazing. And I love that they're having I feel bad for little Jenna Ortega. And this is what I don't want her to become to try
Christina
she is such a
Ricci?
talented yeah, right. I do not want that to happen. Absolutely. But she's such a talented person. I don't want her to get pigeonholed like some people can. Like I don't want her to just because she's doing Wednesday. You know, she's doing Wednesday.
think she
and now
wants-
she's doing
I think she wants these goth characters, though. That's the thing. Is I think that
okay.
she's,
As
like-
long as she's okay with it.
Yeah.
I worry sometimes. And
Right.
she's a sweet girl, and I just want to make sure that she's not getting into something that she doesn't need to be getting into. And she should do a rom-com every now and then, maybe just to show everybody that she can do it, you know, or
I
like,
think-
you know, a drama or something.
Right. I think one of the things with this is so like famously on the set of Wednesday, she she did a lot of character changes that were not in the script. She did a lot of ad-libbing and things like that. Originally that viral dance scene that she had at the dance
Yeah.
was supposed to be a flash mob. And she was like, I don't think that that would be something that Wednesday would do. I think that this would just be a dance that she does on her own. And she made suggestions that improve the character. It's just a fundamental understanding of she understood Wednesday as a character. That kind of tells me more. And she talks about like, she grew up and just with an obsession with goth and everything like that. So it's like, it just tells me that the fact that she is pursuing a character related to like Lydia Dietz, and doesn't mean that she's going to be a goth character, but I mean, like, she might be, she might be the total opposite of Lydia. She might be the same as Lydia. You don't know. Right.
I just don't want her to be like the new horror it girl, because I've just seen so many horror it girls get crushed to death, and I just feel like that she has a lot to give, and I just don't want to see it. It's just me momming, okay? I'm being a mom, and I can't help it. And ever since I've heard this news, I was like, I worry about that girl, and I'm like, I don't know her, but I worry. So.
Right. No, I get you. I get you. I feel like this is like where the origins of her career are, and I think that she'll start branching out. Also, keep in mind, they're both Tim Burton properties, right? Both things that she's been. So, I mean, it might just be that Tim Burton loved her so much on Wednesday that he's like, I want to write a role for you in Beetlejuice, and it's a typecast, but at the same time, he's writing the role for her.
I do think it's going to be a good thing for her. I want her to make good decisions. I mean, that's just. And wear a jacket. I mean, that's it. I just want her to make good decisions and wear a jacket. I hope she's eating enough.
Oh my God. All right.
So
Tacos on the table. Do we believe that Beetlejuice 2 is happening?
Well, I'm going to do half tacos on the table with little coats so they can stay warm. And because I would love to see it. I just don't know, like, depending on how close it is in development and things like that. I don't know. So I'm cautiously optimistic.
What do you think, Grave?
I'm going all in. Screw it. Let's go all in. Tacos on the tables. This is happening because
I think he has pocket aces.
Because Tim Burton really needs a comeback in movies because his last few have been absolute crap. His remakes of things. Especially when it's not his own property. When it's his property, he does great. When it's not his property, he does awful. Dark Shadows, in particular, and at least I think it's happening. And because Michael Keaton is coming back to all these roles that he said he's never coming back to, so he's in that vein as well. So, and I'm just glad that Jenna Ortega will be playing Lydia's daughter versus Lydia. I don't want to see a recast and taking place shortly after. I would no half tacos. Fine. I'll eat the stuff inside the shells and leave the shells on the table.
I
Um,
put jackets on my tacos. You hush, James.
It's the most mosquito thing I've ever heard you say.
I am hollow like those shells without horror movies, right?
My tacos are on the table. I feel like Keaton and Burton have been trying to find a way to bring this franchise back. It's an opportunity to do it. I feel like part of the problem has probably also been just not having a script good enough to bring it back. The fact that Catherine O'Hara is in on this, Winona Ryder is in on this. Like we basically have the majority of the original cast in on this, right? And
I think actually,
I'd love Gina Davis to come back for this too.
oh, that would be great. And Matthew Modine's still with us. I mean, he could come back too.
yeah,
But the dad
He did play. But no, that was not. That was a Baldwin.
I
Why
was
did I
Alec
think that was Matthew Modine?
Alec.
Why
Baldwin.
did you guys let me do this?
The thing is that where I kind of have my problem with this is like, okay, well, Alec Baldwin has gotten really big, not fat, but he's gotten like wide, right? And by comparison to what he looked like when he was in this movie, and Gina Davis, like have them come back. If they're dead, how have they changed in body style and gotten old?
Because they stretch themselves. They can stretch their bodies in any shape they want.
You know what? Yeah, the explanation could be why I wanted to feel like I was getting older, so I, made myself look older.
Exactly.
It could be, they have jobs in the afterlife. Maybe his ghost job didn't agree with him, and he started ghost eating. We don't know.
Ooh.
And then Michael Keaton, I mean, like he can easily play the same exact way as he did in the original because makeup.
Yeah.
Dude is covered in makeup. So
okay, theory: they find a way to come back from the afterlife, therefore they age.
Oh. I don't know.
One of my other ideas was, what if Catherine O'Hare comes back as a ghost?
Oh, that'd be cool. Like she comes back and she annoys Beetlejuice.
Yeah, like Delia's dead. So because I mean, Catherine is a little bit older now, right? So I mean, I'm just thinking of now for some reason all I can think of is her character on Schitt's Creek.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Right. But it's like, Catherine O'Hare passes away and she is basically trying to figure out haunting herself and calls on Beetlejuice because she's like, what was that snake guy again? Hold on. The snake that tried to kill us.
Right.
Yeah.
Like I can see a lot of like fun happening with that.
Yeah.
Also, I don't want them to go in a direction of, hey, we're in this era now, so we're gonna make it a little more PG. Like, no, I want the same stupid sex jokes from the first movie.
Oh, I want this R-rated. Are you kidding me?
Yep.
I want all
blood and guts and.
Oh yeah, well, I mean,
people eating people.
Grave, you would want it to be super gory. I know that, but
yes, I want the dead people in the waiting room to look like the 13 Ghosts with Matthew Lillard.
Oh,
that's what I want.
That movie. Fun fact: 13 Ghosts was one of the movies that made me evolve as far as horror movies go. Because I always watched like Freddy Krueger and Jason and all that stuff, but 13 Ghosts is what made me move into like the modern era of horror.
Oh, that's cool.
I used to watch that movie on repeat.
Love it.
I liked The Frighteners. I thought that was good.
Mm-hmm.
And
only made because Peter Jackson had the computer equipment from Lord of the Rings, so he didn't know what to do with it. They made that movie.
Yeah, so I like that. And then a couple of
J Fox.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh yes. Love that movie.
Yes.
Arlie Aramy coming back from the dead as a drill sergeant was the best thing ever.
Mm.
Oh yeah.
Get back in your graves.
But yeah, I liked that. I really liked that. And I like horror with a dash of comedy, I think. It just comforts me.
Yeah.
So
Frighteners was a great movie. So that all being said, guys, before we move into quick hits in the news, we have a visitor coming on for a second here.
Oh, here we go.
Yeah. So let's hear from our good friend Carl Weezer.
Hi, is this thing on? Carl Weezer here. I don't know if this is working, but please do yourself a favor and listen to the Distance Nerding podcast and then go have yourself a croissant. But don't talk to Jimmy's mom.
Thank you, Carl. Well, that's it for rumors, guys. It's time to start getting in to one of our favorite segments, the segment that this show's namesake. It is now time
For the download.
The download.
All right, guys. I'm on the wrong page.
You're using dial-up, so just going super slow.
I know, right? Check out the Distance Nerdington post for more news, all the trailers, reactions, and let us know what you're nerding out on this week. All the trailers, all the different things, of course, all the memes. Cam is in there constantly posting all of the stuff before we can get to it, and we appreciate it, Cam. We really do.
Thank you, Cam.
Thank you, Cam. So we got some quick hits here. So we're gonna try and get through these ones fairly quickly, so we can get into the into the meat of the download here. Let's talk Oscars.
I have never had more Oscars devoted to me than I have this year.
I know.
It was my mom and all mothers out there, and I was like, I just had an Oscar devoted to me. Oh my God. And it happened over and over and over again.
Oh, dear Lord. So the 95th Annual Academy Awards happened. Spoiler alert, Everything Everywhere All at Once won everything everywhere.
Yes.
All at
All at once.
all
And
at
thanked your mom. They thanked your mom for
Yeah.
it.
Now, moving on. Just kidding. Yeah, guys, Everything Everywhere All at Once led the pack with a total of 7 wins, including Best Picture, Best Actress for Michelle Yeoh, Best Director for Daniel Kwan and Daniel Shiner. That's how you say his name. All right.
I think, yep.
Best Supporting Actress, Jamie Lee Curtis, and Best Supporting Actor. Oh, I need the soundbite for this one. Ki Hui Kwan. I was just explaining to somebody about how after he did Indiana Jones and Goonies, he had like 1 or 2 roles, but basically disappeared from acting and became a stunt actor. And started doing martial arts scenes and stuff. Like he did all the choreography for The Matrix.
Oh, that's awesome. I didn't know he did all the choreography for The Matrix.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
A lot of like martial arts movies and stuff. Like he was the one that was doing all the choreography for it. So the fact that he came back to acting for this movie, well, technically he came back to acting for a Netflix movie before, but it was just like a cameo. But he came back to like fully acting for this movie, and he won Best Supporting Actor. It's a huge deal.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Well,
Yeah.
I was gonna say like the 4 major awards besides Best Picture, but even that, but you have the original or one of the original Scream Queens in Jamie Lee Curtis.
Right.
You have Michelle Yeoh, who not only had an action star following, but she was also in a couple of MCU movies, you know? So it's like, there you go. You got that. You've got Ki Hui Kwan, which I probably said his name wrong. I apologize. He was in the Indiana Jones series and, you know, he was on Son-in-Law. I loved Son-in-Law.
Right.
But he was, Encino Man. It was Encino Man. Yeah. I loved Son-in-Law too, or that one, but I loved, yeah. Anyway, but so we've got all these like, and I mean, Brendan Fraser, he played Robot Man on Doom Patrol and was going to be the villain in Batgirl. So it was like, you have all of these nerdy people and they're winning Oscars, maybe not for the nerdy projects, but they're still winning Oscars. So it's
Yeah. Now, so a couple more accolades on here. So Michelle Yeoh is the first ever Asian actress to win Best Act.
That's actually incorrect, but she's the reason they said it the way they did is because she's the first Asian that identifies as an Asian actress.
Right.
So Merle Oberon, she was Asian, but she didn't identify as Asian because she thought it would hurt her chances at stardom in Hollywood in the 20s. So when she won her Oscar, she didn't say she was an Asian actress. So that's why Yo is the first, but she's not really.
Right. Harrison Ford presented the award for Best Picture, which gave us another Harrison Ford and Ke Huy Quan reunion. You just mentioned a second ago, Brendan Fraser took home the Best Actor award for Whale.
Yep.
All Quiet on the Western Front, which scooped up 4 awards, including Oscars for the Best Original Score, Production Design, Cinematography, and International Feature. And then the Best Song, something that I know you're going to be excited about, Natu Natu from RRR, music by M.M. Keeravani, and by Chandra Bose is the winner of that. I'm sure James wrote those names down specifically because he was like, yeah, nobody's going to say those right.
Well, and also Wakanda Forever won Best Costume again.
Right.
So like this is the second Oscar the costume designer has done, and I think it's the only 2 movies she's ever been nominated for. I think. I don't know. But yeah, it's kind of cool.
It's pretty awesome. So moving into the next story here, you want to take this next one?
Me?
Sure.
I can. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yay. Okay. I haven't watched this yet, but it's on my list. Anyway, Apple TV news. Apple TV renews Jason Segel and Harrison Ford's Shrinking for season 2. And we were just talking about Harrison Ford, weren't we?
Yep.
Like earlier. Okay. My screen turned blue. All right. Time for more therapy. Because my screen is blue. Apple TV Plus has announced that Jason Segel and Harrison Ford comedy series, Shrinking, will be getting a season 2. Bill Lawrence and Brett Goldstein, who also produced Ted Lasso, I guess they're the producers as well for that. And I mean, I just love Brett Goldstein, so he can produce whatever he'd like.
Nice.
That's all I have to say. There is a Shrinkopsis on this.
Shrinkopsis! Synopsis!
Yay! The series centers on a grieving therapist who starts to break the rules by telling his clients exactly what he thinks. Jimmy has lost his wife and wants to try a new approach to his loss, but it's unclear how this will help others. So what do we think?
I haven't watched it yet. And it's, I'm going to be honest, it's because Apple TV Plus doesn't have the greatest marketing.
They really don't. I agree with you. They really, really don't.
You know, I mean, like I'm going to go and hop on Apple TV Plus after this and go watch some Ted Lasso. But I mean,
yeah, but you wouldn't have even known that if it hadn't come up on my screen and I went, hey, Ted Lasso just dropped.
I watched Ted Lasso late. Like I watched it at the end of season 2 and was upset that I hadn't watched it before that because I was like, oh my God, the show's amazing. Why didn't I watch this before?
Yeah, we started watching it, during the pandemic? So we may have done it like immediately when it started. I can't remember, but yeah, we really loved it. It was an amazing show. Still is, I assume.
Oh, James just put a fun fact in the chat right here. Brendan Fraser and Michelle Yeoh were in Mummy 3 together. And Brendan Fraser and Ke Huy Quan were in Encino Man together. So Brendan Fraser is connected to all the winners.
Yep, absolutely. And has a lovely wife, and his children look completely different.
Yeah.
One is like a ginger pasty skinned kid, and the other one looks like a Latin Lothario. It's weird.
What's wrong with pasty skinned people?
No, I'm just saying that they don't look like they would be related, but they do look like they would be related. It's really weird.
Yeah,
and I love it.
Nothing when they're covered in tattoos and have an amazing beard.
Yeah, that's it.
That's
it. You're just slowly covering yours with ink, so that's okay.
I mean, slowly, but yeah.
I'm interested in this, and Harrison Ford said it was the best script he'd ever read, period. So it makes me want to watch it. I've been trying to keep up with everything, and it's not going well.
Yeah. Well, let's move on to the next story here. We're getting into the meat of the download. I have the replacement. Oh yeah. So Supergirl star Melissa Benoist is set to take on the role of Teela in Kevin Smith's animated series Masters of the Universe Revolution, which is a continuation of Masters of the Universe Revelation. She's going to be replacing Sarah Michelle Gellar, who voiced the character in Revolution. How do you guys feel about that?
You know what? They have similar voices. I think it would work. I assume it's probably because Sarah Michelle Gellar has that new show.
Yes.
And so she may not have time to do or her scheduling may not be
if she's
copacetic.
leaving the show if she's leaving this show to do the new horror sci-fi show, then I'm all for it.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It was that Wolf show or something.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I think that's why she was leaving. Because that girl, if she could do them both, she would. She wants to work.
Yeah.
So for that to happen, I do think, I think it was probably reciprocal. Like they weren't like, she wasn't like, screw you guys, I'm leaving. And I think Melissa will be a good successor because I think she's also a good person and she has that more bubbly, I'm a hero, despite everything, kind of tone to her voice.
Right.
So Phil, do you have a Revoloption for us?
We have a Revolution. Revolution tells an all-new story that focuses on the classic He-Man versus Skeletor rivalry in a way audiences have never seen before. It's technology up against magic as He-Man and the heroic warriors face the forces of Skeletor and the deadly threat to the planet in the next epic chapter in the battle for Eternia. I'm forgetting his name, but right here, hold on. I have to pull up the name real quick. So they Hordak. So
Hordak.
They introduced Hordak at the end of Revelation.
Mm-hmm.
And like it scared the shit out of Skeletor, which that doesn't happen very often. You don't see Skeletor actually, at least in this version of the series, you didn't see Skeletor being afraid of anything. Like he seemed like he was like the alpha, I'm not afraid of anything and I will kill everything that gets in my way character. And then Hordak shows up and he just cowers, right? So it was like, I when they say technology up against magic, it's basically they're essentially confirming that Hordak's coming, especially because Trapjaw and Triclops are essentially like minions of Hordak at the end of the show. So it's going to be interesting to see like what that dynamic is. And then they're saying that you see that classic He-Man versus Skeletor rivalry in a way that nobody's ever seen before. I think that there's going to be like a lot of dynamic between the two of them, but then there's also going to be the two of them fighting against Hordak.
Yeah, that'd be kind of cool to see that happen.
Because the other thing is like you got to remember, Hordak is technically Skeletor's master. So
yeah, that's true. And he's the one that like got banished and kidnapped She-Ra, right?
Yes. So he's the main villain for She-Ra series.
Okay. Yeah, that's what I thought. I vaguely remember watching it. Anyway, so I think that'd be awesome.
Yeah, I think it's going to be great. I'm excited for this because for all the people who didn't like Revelation, I thought Revelation was amazing. I thought it was a great series. I thought everything about it was good. The storyline was written in a way that was super captivating. So, I mean, I thought it was great.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to this. So,
yeah.
Now, is Chris Wood, is he the guy that was on Supergirl that she fell in love with? And now they're married?
I think Chris Wood was on Supergirl because I think that's how Kevin Smith found him.
Yeah. So, yeah, I think they're married now. Like they have a baby and everything.
Oh wow!
Yeah,
Which makes
that's
sense
weird.
that Benoist would come on as and play Tila.
Yeah, that does. Uh-oh, maybe that's how it happened. Sarah got stabbed in the back. Let's start that. No, anyway, no, I'm back. I'm
Well,
back.
you
I'm
know what?
back. I'm back. Sorry.
So Benoist joins the previously announced cast, which includes Chris Wood as He-Man, like we mentioned before, Mark Hamill coming back as Skeletor, and William Shatner in a role that has yet to be revealed. If Shatner is Hordak, I'm gonna be amazed, and that's gonna be great.
That would be amazing. That would be so fun.
I need him to go full Shatner because like Shatner and now that he's gotten a little bit older, he's relaxed a little more and he does less of the overacting, right?
Yeah.
I want to see him go full Shatner for Hordak.
Yeah, because just him opposite Mark Hamill as Skeletor.
Right, exactly. It's also great that we've got Trek and Star Wars in the same series.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
Masters of the Universe Revolution is set to debut on Netflix in 2024. So we got a little while for that.
Yep.
Yeah.
So she can keep raising that baby. They can have some fun raising their little baby.
Yeah. One of you guys want to take the next one?
Sure.
All right.
All right. So the Creed franchise to expand on Amazon with the anime series and other projects. Ding ding, time to put the gloves back on. With Creed 3 doing well at the box office, Amazon Studios is looking to expand the franchise, and the studio is looking to build out a universe that will span both film and TV. They have actively been meeting with franchise star and filmmaker Michael B. Jordan on several Creed-related projects for the past year. Jordan previously said that building the Creed universe is something that I'm really excited about. How do you guys feel about a Creed universe? I mean, we already have a universe. It's the Rocky universe now expanded into Creed. So do you think there'll be overlap between those two?
I mean, there should be.
Yeah.
It'll be interesting to see what they do with everything on there, like on what stories they do and everything like that. I don't know how I feel about an anime, though.
Yeah, I mean, one of the projects they discussed is the anime, but they're also talking about live action TV series to go with it as well.
Right. So I mean, yeah. I'm reading ahead right now, so we'll get to this. But yeah, like some of the stuff that they're talking about, like some of the other projects they're talking about, like I'm more excited about that stuff than I am than I am about the anime that they're talking about. Just because I feel like an anime around Adonis Creed would just feel weird,
like the Harlem Globetrotters cartoon.
Yeah, kind of like that. Well, yeah, and I see more of a universe being built not necessarily around one person, but around a group of people. And Creed seems to really be based around one person. So I don't know how much they can do unless they start telling, not these lesser characters, like one of his boxers or something like that.
Let me get more into that. They talk about another idea being talked about as a project that centers around Adonis Creed's daughter Amara, who is played by deaf actress Mila Davis Kent in Creed 3. I haven't seen Creed 3 yet. So
haven't either.
Yeah.
So also though, I think this is what Phil is excited for is the Drago spinoff is in the works at MGM that would center around Rocky Balboa's foe, Russian boxer Ivan Drago.
So
Lundgren, the Punisher.
Yeah, wow.
So I mean, I know, right? So Ivan Drago, it would be cool to see kind of what he did post that defeat from Rocky, right? It would be
almost like a Cobra Kai.
Yeah, but like seeing Ivan Drago, what he went through and everything like that. I want to see the relationship he has with Victor Drago, his son, who was the main antagonist from Creed 2. What I do want to see too, because I don't see anything on here about this, but I would want to see more with Clever Lang. I want to see what happened with Clever Lang? Do we see his son? Do we see things with Thunderlips? All these other characters that are part of the Rocky universe that we've seen. I want to see kind of the next generation with these guys, but not getting into a something where not getting into a Super Friends kind of thing where it's I'm Victor Drago and I'm Thunder Thighs. I don't know. I'm Adonis Creed, and it's I'm Bam Bam Lang. I don't know, just things like that, and just
Yeah.
having these characters like that are just like the next generation who are all like
Right.
super friends, and like I don't want it to be a Hanna-Barbera cartoon, basically. You know?
Right.
Yeah, but they're talking that Victor Drago was introducing Creed 2, but they're
Yeah.
unclear if that's moving forward at this point in time.
Okay.
That spinoff.
Uh,
And there's big plans for Creed, and one person seems to be left out for the whole thing is Sly Stallone himself, right? Who's been trying to get the rights to the franchise back, but that's an uphill battle that most likely he won't win.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yes.
Creed 1 and 2 available on HBO Max, soon be the Max,
Right.
Yeah.
Especially because Paramount has the rights to Creed, right?
mhm.
Yeah,
I think it's Paramount.
yeah, I think
Yeah.
so.
They're the whole thing is like they got the rights from Sly Stallone, and they're doing successful things with it. I mean, I do love what Michael B. Jordan has done with Adonis Creed and has done with the name of Apollo Creed's family and everything like that. I think it's great, but I mean, I also would like it to be something where we get more Rocky Balboa, and like we see I don't want them to forget Rocky Balboa within this universe, because he's the namesake for everything,
Mhm.
Yeah.
Oh, if it wasn't for Rocky, this wouldn't be here.
This would
Yeah.
right, and this was Sly's this was his brainchild, like he
Yep.
literally came up with this entire concept on his own, and it's semi-biographical. So I mean, I don't like the idea of him not being able to come back in.
Yeah.
If not getting the rights to the franchise back, at least getting some working out some kind of deal where he gets compensation, because he deserves it. For they wouldn't have this successful franchise if it wasn't for him.
That's true.
Right.
And we wouldn't have gotten to see Jonathan Majors shirtless
Oh God,
a lot.
Jonathan Majors was shirtless all through through Lovecraft Country. So I mean, we can't really say that he wasn't that shirtless, because that's how we all know how ripped he was, is because he's shirtless through half of that show.
Yeah, but more. And oiled up.
And
Across
oiled
from
up, 'cause he's getting ready to box.
Michael B. Jordan.
Well, Carter taught us that being oiled up makes it harder to beat hit.
Oh my God. All right. Creed 1 and 2 are available to stream on HBO Max. Creed 3 is in theaters right now.
James wants to check the chat because the chat has all the answers.
Is that right?
Yes, all the answers. What's
All the
mile
answers?
tickets,
Yeah.
James?
Oh yeah, he is talking about Metos is confirming some of the Melissa Benoist stuff we were talking about earlier.
Yeah.
Frasier like razor. All right, I got to take this next one because I'm super excited about this.
Yeah,
Yes.
take it.
Guys, speaking of Amazon going another round, Batman Cape Crusader was initially being developed for HBO Max by producers J.J. Abrams, Matt Reeves, and Bruce Timm. After Warner Brothers canceled the project, which is what I was talking about earlier, fans were hoping that it would be find a new home, and it has. Batman Cape Crusader has landed on Amazon with a 2-season order. I'm so excited for this. Bruce Timm shared, it kind of goes back to the original principle of the show that we originally came up with in the early 90s. There were certain limitations on what we could do in terms of adult content, in terms of violence and adult themes. Matt Reeves went on to share that Batman won't have all the gadgets in this show, as it takes place before the time he started investing money into that stuff. So he's going to be very low tech initially. As he develops as a character, he'll start introducing those gadgets, and the audience can see how he developed the Batmobile using different prototypes. That's part of the fun of this series, is we're finding him discovering these things that in most other Batman series, they already were there. Right. The show will focus on a version of Batman who is completely alone in his journey. Reeves explained, there's not the Justice League. It doesn't exist. There aren't any other superheroes. It's Batman. You're watching this lone figure swimming through the cesspool of Gotham. It's Batman alone. So as of right now, there's no date when Batman Cape Crusader will swing onto Amazon Prime Video. Guys, I need to know your thoughts on this.
Okay.
Okay.
Just I mean, yeah, it's gonna be cool, but I feel like we've kind of seen it. I mean, are they gonna do everything up to the Batman then? Because it seems like that's what they're trying to do. Because it's like, hey, he's discovering all this. Well, in the Batman, he wasn't. He had all of this stuff, right? So
I think this is leading up to Batman the Animated Series.
yeah, because that's the whole thing. This
yeah.
seems like it's something that I wish we got parts of that in Batman the Animated Series. Like they talked about how he studied with Zatanna and became the greatest magician. He studied with Ra's al Ghul, and that's how he became part of the League of Shadows. I mean, like, you know, like he there's a lot of like there's a lot of exposition within the 7 seasons of the animated series that goes over some of the things that he did in his past. But I mean, it's kind of cool to see, you know, this is a show based on Batman Year One. You know, he first.
Yeah, I think it's cool. I guess I don't know. I guess I'm oversaturated with the Bat. So
I am not oversaturated with Batman animated series.
Yeah, and that's the thing is that I what gets me excited about this is if we're looking at like a Matt Reeves version of Batman, but the creative is helmed by Bruce Timm, I'm all for it.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
You know, like I mean,
I'm not saying I'm not going to watch it. I will absolutely watch it. I'm just kind of like, oh, okay, another Batman show.
The animated series was very dark for its time.
Oh,
they
it
really.
I love
the
the
envelope
animated series. Yeah.
Like Bruce Timm and Paul Dini did an amazing job with the animated series. So I mean, like, just to see what Bruce Timm does, it looks like he has a new, almost like a new design for Batman himself. Like he's got way longer ears than he did in the original animated series. Like it's going to be interesting to see like what route they go, and you know, is this going to be a part of the animated series, or is this going to be something that is, you know, is this like the year since the Batman is year 2 of Bruce Wayne as Batman? Is this like explaining that first year and the journey he goes on to get there within this universe?
Yeah, I mean, I would like to see that versus just more animated series. I'd like it to be more focused on the newer, like the Batman, because I think that might be a cool thing. And they don't have to do a movie about it ever. If they explain it in the show, you're good. You don't have to worry about it.
Right.
So,
Because then you can focus on telling good stories in the movies because you're doing all of the origins in the cartoon.
right. Yeah, I think that's a good idea.
Is this what Kevin Conroy did the voice work for already? This show?
I think that he recorded the first season of this.
Right. So are they splitting his voice into 2 seasons, or are they getting a voice actor?
I think what they'll probably end up doing. Yeah, I think what they'll probably end up doing is getting somebody to voice match. I mean, there are a lot of voice actors out there who do a decent voice match of Kevin Conroy. The thing is that you're not going to get the same inflections that Kevin had because he understood the character better than anybody.
Yeah, that's true.
You know, so you won't get the same inflections, but you're definitely going to get like at least the voice. You're going to get kind of like part of the things. You're just not going to get the same nuance that Kevin had.
Yeah,
that's true. I mean, yeah, and he spent the most time with Bruce and Batman than probably any other person has ever spent time.
Right. And I mean, who's to say that we're not going to get somebody who, you know, after spending enough time with Bruce and Batman, that you like they become as good as Kevin Conroy. I mean, it's blasphemy. I don't want to really say that because I don't feel like anybody's going to be as good as Kevin Conroy, but somebody, if somebody can make that character their own and carry on the legacy of Kevin Conroy and kind of like learn the ins and outs of Bruce in a way that Kevin did and just carry the torch for Kevin Conroy, then I'll be happy with that.
Yeah, I mean, I think so too. And we're going to have more content, so we're not going to have Kevin for it, and it's going to be sad, and people are going to push back on it for a little bit. But I mean, we have what we have with him, and it's amazing. So we can always fall back on it, but somebody is going to have to take over eventually.
Yeah.
So
And we don't have the story on here. I just realized because it just came to my head right now. But Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League just got pushed back again.
Because
Oh,
of the
goodness.
crappy gameplay mechanics.
Yeah, because of
Yeah.
that gameplay mechanic video that came out, and everybody was kind of pissed about it. And of course, they're making it a live game, which nobody's really happy about. So they said in order to fix this stuff, it's going to take about a year to fix it all. So people are just like, whatever, do what you have to do. We want a better game. But like, you know, it's getting pushed back again, and Kevin Conroy played Batman in that. So like that's another
yeah, it's another something that we can look forward to. So that's good.
right, because they did mention in the thing that I was watching that, you know, keep in mind this is Kevin's last performance as Batman, so there's no way that they can shelf this and not have it come out.
Yes. I'd be fine with it just being the 2 seasons with Kevin and be done too, honestly.
Yeah.
As a good homage, good payoff.
There we go.
Right.
Okay, so let's go on to some MCU news. Marvel Studios has revealed that a new Native American hero character will be introduced in the upcoming second season of the animated series What If. And I love her outfit, so just letting you know.
I'm actually really excited for this. Like after this earlier, I was like, oh, this is gonna be dope.
So Marvel Studios has revealed that a new native. Oh, did I already do that? Yeah. Sorry. That was a glitch in the Matrix. I apologize. The character's name is, and I'm probably going to say it wrong. I apologize. Kahori. And the episode she appears in tells the story of the Tesseract and what might have happened had it shown up in America before its colonization. So just the native tribes being there. The entire episode will be fully in Mohawk, the Mohawk language, and is informed by the history of the Akawasani region of what is now upstate New York. So far, like, what do we think about this? I know Phil said he's excited.
Yeah. I'm excited because so all these like alternate colonization stories that have been coming out with like Marvel and stuff, like what would have happened if this civilization wasn't conquered, or what would have happened if this you know, if colonization wasn't what it was, you know, and things like that. Like I like these stories that are coming out, you know, like it's kind of it's to an extent it's kind of sad, but at the same time it's like it's dope just like that they're honoring these civilizations and the glory of what they were before, you know, the kind of destroyed them.
Well, yeah, I mean, even like, you know, you look at even in the main stuff, like you look at Wakanda,
and that's what
and you look at the Tolokans and all that. I mean, it is, and I love the whole otherworldliness but same worldliness of it. Yeah,
I like that. It's going to be what if the Tesseract wasn't in Norse mythology, it was in Native American mythology, it sounds like.
Right.
And, you know, if it just landed in a different continent, essentially. And I like the fact that they're making a brand new superhero, potentially, right?
Yeah.
That we always talk about, you know, how do we get more things there? Do we retcon past characters? Or do we just create good ones, new ones, too, that can hopefully embody this culture going forward? Because I think if this is a testing ground for if this character does really, really well, that she'll be introduced to the comics, to the movies, potentially even at some point in time too. Because obviously Harley Quinn was only in Batman the Animated Series, and look where Harley is now.
Oh yeah, I mean it. Yeah, I could absolutely see this happening, and it seems like they're doing it from a good place, because it's not just checking the box. It's this is an actual cool story that we've decided to adapt.
I enjoy these unproblematic native characters that they've been making lately, you know. So it's like and I say that because you guys remember Indian Chief, you guys remember kind of like, you know, T-Hawk. Like there's a couple of different characters that were stereotypes of Native Americans that weren't exactly like, you know, they were making them because like be cool if we made a native character, and like they were just like some of them were negative stereotypes of those characters, right? So it's kind of like I like that they're doing characters that honor the culture, you know, a little bit more And I do like that, you know, have made they like some of the characters they've retconned to a point where it's like, you know, this character is native, but we're not making that character like, you know, like a derivative of their culture. Like, you know, like
Yeah.
Echo it has always been a Native American character. And she's always been a deaf Native American character, right? And
Yeah.
I like that they never feed into, well, she's Native American, so we have to make her like a super feather Native American stereotype character. Like she happens to be Native American, but she's just
Well, like Forge too. You've got Forge.
oh, I love Forge so much.
Yes.
Yes.
One of my favorite characters.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly that. Like Forge is another character that is he was Apache, right? So like he's an Apache character, but he's not it's not a derivative character in any way, you know. Like I've always enjoyed it where you make a character like they have a cultural background, but they don't lean on that cultural background.
It's just who they are, and it's not, well, I'm Native American, so I'm going to do all of these rituals. Hold on. No, it's just, oh yeah, I'm Apache. No big deal. So
Yeah,
do you need me to help you fix that? Okay, cool. Yeah.
Right. I feel like that's the way that representation should be, and not in a way where like it's in your face. Like, you know, this character is obviously Mexican, you know, like I like the way they did it with Kyle Rayner, where Kyle Rayner is half Mexican. He just, you know, yeah, he is.
It's just like, okay, cool. You know,
same thing. Like, you know, again, when they revealed that Kyle Rayner was bi, like, you know, that's
of course he was. You saw that mask. I'm sorry.
but I mean, like, you know, like it's the thing is they didn't make it like, you know, this big old deal, because still to this day, some people don't realize that he's a bi character, you know. But
I can see that.
Yeah, that's the way that they should do representation. Is it's not their entire identity, it's just a part of who they are.
Yeah. If it is their entire identity, they become a token character, and that's not right.
So. And how long did it take for them to kill off Thunderbird? That's
right. Oh my gosh. Okay, so the episode was written by Ryan Little. I guess he's done What If before, and it was created in close collaboration with members of the Mohawk Nation, including historian Doug George and Mohawk language expert Cecilia King, to ensure cultural authenticity. Yeah, that's very cool. The production team also worked with members of the Mohawk Nation to design Kahori's look and environment, and to help incorporate traditional Mohawk music to use in the score.
Clap all day for that. That's
right. I mean, and this is what they should be doing. Like if you are going to bring something new, someone new into the universe, then yeah, make it as authentic as possible, so that it's not just hey, here's another Native American character. It's here's this character, here's her culture and what it looks like, and how how it was steeped in it, and so it's educational for people as well. So I mean, it's a win-win.
Yeah, I had arguments with people about Talocan and the way that they're going to portray Namor, and I was saying, like, you know, if they treat that with the same care they did with Wakanda, it's going to be amazing, and it was exactly that. So
yeah, oh, absolutely. Now I do have a Tesser What If fact opposite.
Can't believe I got
that all out. I was like, I hope all the words come out right. The story centers on the Tesseract as it takes on a new life and a new mythology, transforming a lake into a gateway to the stars, and leading Kahori, a young Mohawk woman, on a quest to discover her power. And I assume that's why I like the blue on her costume and everything, because it is very Tesseract-like. But What If Season 2 will arrive on Disney Plus in early to mid 2023. I think we're probably going to be mid 2023, since early is becoming late. And it consists of 9 episodes.
I'm interested. So it's only going to have 8 brand new episodes, because one of the episodes is one that they didn't finish from last season.
Yeah. Well, and that may be why they have 9, is just because they just put that other one in there. but I'm okay with that. I'm okay with 8 new ones.
Yeah.
It's really hard to do animation. It takes forever.
Right.
So I'm
Pretty
okay with
exciting
it.
on here. So
Tell me a good story and I'll wait forever.
yeah. So talk about putting your foot in your mouth. Our
Do
next,
you want to see me do that? Because I can.
huh? Okay, you put your foot in your mouth.
Uh-huh.
Go for it.
Censored for YouTube.
I did it.
Uh,
I did it, and then all hell broke loose.
so I was gonna say something here. So in Graveyard will not touch this 10-foot pole news. Subway is celebrating National Potato Chip Day in a big way. The sandwich chain announced a new partnership with Baked Lays, one that will result in the world's first ever foot-long potato chip. For one day only, sandwich fiends will be able to get their hands on a Baked Lays potato chip measuring 12 inches in length. Now we know that that Graveyard is going to stay as far away from this as possible because he hates potatoes.
I do.
Now, one slight catch: the Baked Lays footlong will only be available at a single Subway location in Frisco, Texas. So it's worthless.
I'm the closest to that. Yeah.
Here you go. Tacos on the table. It's gonna be all crumbled up in a bag, and it's gonna just say "Big Play." It's if you put them all together, they're equal 12 inches. I don't think it'll ever
Right.
be in one piece.
I know, right?
Yeah, I just don't think that. That's probably why they're doing it in one store, just to see. They'll be like, okay, somebody said, some nepo baby said to do this, so we're gonna do it in one store.
I also like the fact that the 12-inch potato chip is longer than the 12-inch sub.
I know.
Right.
Right?
And it looks like a really wide tongue depressor.
It does. It does.
I was gonna say the bottom of someone's foot, but
Do you want to see my foot? No, I'm just kidding. I'm not doing that again.
This is. I mean, how does your foot taste? Gotta ask that.
Well, it tastes like lotion because I lotioned.
Again, for those of you that are just to this, she did attempt to put her foot in her mouth, and I don't know if she did because the
I did, but the camera decided that it had had enough. That was it. It could not take any more of my
Save it.
We're not
bullshit.
putting this on the internet. There's enough of this on the internet.
save it for the this is their OnlyFans.
That's gonna.
That's true. Yeah, I guess I should do that for OnlyFans. Like, yeah, anything with feet, you got to pay for it, right?
Exactly. Got to pay to play. Got to pay to play. God, Graveyard. Do you want to take this next one? Because I'm gonna vomit just thinking of this.
Sure.
I don't.
Yeah. All right. So
This is waste of a good ice cream. I'm
Really
I'm
is.
sorry.
since you couldn't have a foot-long chip for National Chip Day, how about a new treat for National Ranch Day? I mean, yes, please.
That's
My wife
gross.
puts ranch on everything.
But this is gross.
The National Ranch Day was March 10th. Hey, it's Mario Day. This year in Valley, Ranch is partnering with Van Leeuwen Ice Cream for a truly unique way to enjoy ranch. Van Leeuwen Ice Cream announced that their new spring flavor lineup, including the all-new exclusive Hidden Valley Ranch flavor. It's great. I mean,
Wow.
we have the ranch goes with everything opposites.
Ranch goes with everything opposite.
According to the brand, Hidden Valley Ranch and Van Leeuwen flavor combines the flavor of ranch, including buttermilk, flavorful herbs, so the flavorless ones, I guess, and a touch of sweetness, make it a unique spin on a fan favorite frozen treat.
That is nasty. Like just the idea of ranch is something you put on something, but just having, I don't know, Jackie might eat that.
If you melt it, can you put it on salad?
I'm sure you could because anyways.
Scoop of ice cream, you start eating it. What are you having? Salad.
I'm having a healthy salad and ranch. So Rachel Garrison, Associate Director at Hidden Valley Ranch, said in a statement, "We are so excited to partner with Van Leeuwen, the expert in limited edition premium flavors, to bring together this creamy mix of savory and sweet.
Huh.
Inside your tip, top your scoops with crushed pretzels or potato chips, maybe a foot-long potato chip.
There you
For
go.
perfectly salty crunch.
Shut up and take my money.
Malibu and spring flavor lineup includes sweet maple cornbread,
Okay.
That
blood
doesn't sound
orange
bad.
chocolate chip. You lost me already.
I would try it.
He doesn't like
Carrot
chocolate.
Yeah, I ate. Carrot
yeah, it's
cake,
chick-
I'd eat.
Yeah.
Strawberry shortcake. It's
I'm
hard
down
to
for
eat.
that.
I would totally eat strawberry
It's a
shortcake.
Sunday.
Ooh,
Yeah.
honey graham cracker sounds delicious.
Yes.
You know what you do?
Limoncello cake.
Lemon
Okay, well, the
chocolate.
limoncello cake, I'll take all of that. Just deliver all of that to my home, please.
Well-
And then I want the honey graham cracker to go with the either strawberry shortcake or the blood orange chocolate chip.
They are very missing an opportunity here that you mix it with s'more ice cream. All right.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh,
I
God.
wouldn't
yeah.
try any of those with the ranch, though.
This next line 100% makes sense now.
Walmart.
Full lineup will be sold exclusively at 3,500 Walmart stores nationwide from March 20th to May 28th. That makes so much more sense now. Like that
Yeah.
sounds like a Walmart thing.
Absolutely.
They're still not. You
You
can
want to
go
go
to
to Walmart and
Walmart.
get ranch ice cream. Oh,
Ugh. No, no, no.
all right. So that is it for the news, guys. It is now time for the breakdown. You guys ready for the breakdown?
I'm so ready because I totally want to talk about the Mandalorian.
You do.
I'm excited for this whole thing. You guys have no idea because, oh man, we are gonna get into this. So,
Yeah.
Mandalorian season 3, episode 2, chapter 18, The Mines of Mandalore. The plot accelerates in The Mandalorian season 3, episode 2, entitled Chapter 18, The Mines of Mandalore, taking Pedro Pascal's Din Djarin and Grogu to the ruined planet of Mandalore. Din begins the true journey set out for him by reaching the planet of Mandalore. Initial thoughts, guys. How excited or hyped were you guys about season 2 and the Book of Boba, seeing Andor going into Mandalorian season 3? In reality, just kind of after watching that first episode, knowing he was going to go to Mandalore, and kind of getting what we got in this episode, what were your thoughts without jumping into too many spoilers? What were your thoughts on the episode?
Gravy, you want to go?
I thought this is me great, and I thought some of our theories from last week were actually pretty spot on.
Oh, yes. Dude, as soon as we got one of those theories, I text or I messaged Frey and was like, you called that shit.
I know, right? I'm
I'll,
like,
I'll say this one. Matt, Pat, we're coming for you.
We are coming for you, Matt Pat.
So no, I mean,
I gotta send him an invitation.
right?
See if I can get him on the show.
Yeah, I mean, I'm with you on that graveyard. I think when they first started talking about it at the end of season 2, when he's like, well, I guess I got to go to the, living waters. I thought this whole season would culminate to it. I was like, they're going to slow burn it. It's going to be that thing. And then, episode 2, and it's like, hey, we're going to Mandalore. And I was like, son of a bitch, I'm in. I really was, I was like, yes, let's do this. Because I thought I was going to have to wait like a whole season. Yeah. So I was
we're already on Mandalore. Like episode 2, we're
Yeah.
already on Mandalore.
What's next?
right. So
A shit ton happening this season if they're already on Mandalore.
right. I mean, and yeah, there's going to be a lot of side quests on this. It's going to be like, okay, now you go here and you talk to these Mandalorians, and you go here and you talk to these Mandalorians, and
Right.
yeah.
Side quest.
Well, yeah, because you have to I can't say that because it's a spoiler, but so we'll talk about that later. But yeah, there's a certain thing that if you do this, other people must see it for it to count. And so you have to have an audience. So I think they're going to have to go get their audience. I think
I
that's
just
the
want
next
to
step.
point out in the chat that Forrest is absolutely correct. You eat the hottest buffalo wings and you take a scoop of the ranch ice cream
Mhm.
cool down. It's a perfect.
Well, no. So you get the
combo.
buffalo wing ice cream, and you eat that, and get really, and then you take the ranch ice cream.
All right, so Phil, what was your take on this?
I was super excited to begin with going into the episode. Again, we had a whole bunch of stuff that we predicted for the end of the season that happened in this episode, and which we'll get to once we talk about the spoilers and everything later on, because I do have to give a spoiler alert for everybody on here. But I mean, so many things that happened in this that I kind of wasn't expecting to happen in this episode. There was one thing that I thought was going to happen that was completely upended on this. Like, I thought there was going to be like remnants of Mandalorians on Mandalore, and there wasn't that. But I mean, like, just a lot of the stuff that we saw was nuts. And again, going into this, just, you know, I wasn't expecting. But I guess one of the things that people were saying is that by the end of the season, Grogu was supposed to like speak, and we almost got that in this episode.
Yeah, and it was just so cute with Peli Motto, and like her and him jumping to her, and she's like, "Oh my god!" You know, she's that crazy aunt that lets you get away with everything.
Oh, absolutely is.
Yeah. And then she's like, "Did you hear? He said my name. He said my name." You know, it's that kind of like overly proud aunt. So you see Grogu like developing his family as well, not just Mando, but he's got others that care for him now too. So.
Just me, or did Grogu have Mogwai vibes when he did that?
Yes, oh yeah, he did. That was cute.
Yes, this is truly Grogu and friends.
Grogu and friends, it really is.
Let me tell you about my best friend. Sorry.
Before we move on and get into the I was going to say the spoilers, into the Easter eggs. Let's throw up a spoiler alert here. Just let everybody know that we are going to be covering a couple of spoilers here. All right, so let's talk Easter eggs here, right? So the Mandalorian opens with a couple of familiar Star Wars species. We get a Rodian and a Jawa wearing Boonta Eve celebration outfits.
It was so cool. It was on Boonta Eve.
It was, and I thought that was a cool thing that, you know, they're celebrating Boonta Eve, which again, I love the way that they've managed to mesh, you know, concepts from the original series or from the original trilogy with the sequel trilogy, because Boonta Eve was born in episode 1.
Yeah.
And you know, like they kind of go into that and talk about like, okay, you know, Boonta Eve is happening and this is the celebration for Boonta Eve, but at the same time we're getting original characters from the original series, and like I love the way that they mesh everything together and make it all work.
It just makes it seem more real, you know.
Right.
And I think that's the cool thing. It really centers the universe. It really does. So.
Right. I mean, it was kind of like how in the very first episode of The Mandalorian, he talks about what was it? Something day.
Life Day.
Life Day.
Yeah, it was that guy's life day. He's like, my life day's coming up. And
he talks about like life days coming up, right? And it's like that was something that was born in the Christmas special. So I mean,
in the holiday special, the Star Wars.
But so is Boba Fett.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. But I mean, like I like the idea of, hey, here are a couple things that people don't like to admit exist, but let's put it in here in a way that makes it to where like you're not upset that they're mentioning this stuff.
Right.
You know, talks about Life Day, you know, and it's like that's awesome, you know, because we get Easter eggs from the holiday special as much as everybody hates the holiday special, and it's like you get these Easter eggs from that, and then, you know, again, you're getting all these things from the original series or from the sequel series that people didn't necessarily like, but they're doing it in a way where it's like, oh, this is actually really good.
Yeah, I mean, and you also the only thing they haven't really pulled the trigger on is Jar Jar yet. Until they pull the Jar Jar trigger, I'm like,
Darth
okay, they
Jar
really
Jar?
have. Yeah,
Darth
Darth Jar Jar, or just
the thing is-
Senator Jar Jar, or whatever.
But the thing
So,
is, I think at some point we're going to see a Gungan. I do
Yeah.
not put it past them to do Gungans, just because we haven't fully seen the Galactic Senate yet.
mm-mm.
They've
Yeah.
mentioned the Galactic Senate a couple times, but you got to remember, after the war in Episode 1, the Gungans became representatives of Naboo.
Yeah.
You know, so it's like, you know, if we see the Galactic Senate in its full and in its entirety, I'm sure we'll see Gungans in the crowd.
Yeah, I think so. I think it's probably more than likely going to happen in Andor, but yeah, I do think that we may see something, obviously not interact with them, but do see them as kind of that, hey, oh, look, there's Gungans, you know, kind of thing. So yeah, I think
Or it
that
might be cool to see a Gungan off world, right? Because Gungans usually are on Naboo and they're very local to Naboo. Like, it would be kind of cool to see, like, oh, well, now that they're a spacefaring race, you know, because they're representatives of the Galactic Senate. Like, that would be kind of cool to see, like, a Gungan that just left Otogunga, and you see them on a planet, you know, like,
right.
it'd be kind of cool to see them like on Selkath or something like that. Like, that'd be pretty
Oh
dope.
yeah, that would be really cool to see him on that on Cellcap. Yeah. So
Or
anywho,
or on Mon Calamari, you know, like that would
yeah, I
be
was gonna say it would be really. I was thinking Mon Calamari, but when you said Cellcap, I was like, no, that I think that would be really cool because
Right.
I think they'd lose their mind on Cellcap. I think you know on Mon Calamari they'd be okay, but on Cellcap they'd be like,
Hey,
what
Selkath
the
is
fuck?
not. I mean, Selkath is another water planet, so I mean,
I know, but it's still they're a little bit rowdier than the Mon Calamari tend to be. I think so.
definitely are a lot more rowdier than the Mon Calamari. So Grogu's growing force powers are very reminiscent of Yoda. He does a force jump into Peli's arms. You know, the aged Jedi Master was proficient in combat forms of Ataru, which requires the same kind of force leaps. Grogu's training with Luke has clearly left Grogu with much more proficiency than in the Force than we all thought that he had in the first place. Now, they also did mention that he was with Luke for 2 years.
Yeah, I was going to say that we didn't get to see a lot of the training, so I could see like the jumps and him being more in control of his force abilities. I think that's a good thing. And I think he's remembering also his prior training. He's starting to remember things like that. The more he's comfortable, the more, because he does have major PTSD, this kid.
Oh, yeah.
And so the more he's comfortable, the more he's where he feels safe,
Mhm.
the more he's going to remember things. And we're going to probably see some pretty significant Force stuff.
It's going to be interesting to see what he does, because we do see him throwing Alamite out of a cave. So I mean, like,
Yeah.
like that's definitely something that it'll be kind of cool to see, like, where Grogu goes and what he's learned, and kind of like how he incorporates that with his Mandalorian training.
Yeah,
He's
and it does
Mandalorian
go.
stuff.
I'm sorry, go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah.
Gravy.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting to see where it's going to take, because, for the most part, I mean, was it even considered outside the EU that the Mandalorians were mercenaries hired by, the Galactic Empire to fight the Jedi? I mean, is that canon right now, or is it still just EU?
I think I know there was the war,
Mhm.
but I think that was the Mandalorians and the Jedi having a beef with them, like each other. I don't think now it may have been manipulated by the Emperor at the time, or well, before he was the Emperor, but that he may have manipulated that. But I do think that they just had their own beef. I don't think it was hey, we're going to fight because you guys are paying us. The way that they are presenting the Mandalorians now on this series they're more about honor than they are about money. They use money to survive. They try to stick with their honor code.
Did they confirm that in the show that Beskar can repel a lightsaber?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, they did confirm
Yeah.
Beskar, and that's the reason why they
Except the dark saber or something, or
right.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, it's because that's always that, and that's why in the EU the Empire used Mandalorians to fight the Jedi, because they're warriors, they're mercenaries, guns for hire. and their
Yeah.
armor could withstand lightsabers. So they were the perfect army to go fully execute Order 66 after the fact.
Right.
Yeah, and I wonder if we're going to see different factions. I mean, we've got Children of the Watch, and we've got the Bo-Katan's, her factions, and like the one. So I'm wondering if there's not like a third, or maybe there are four fact. We don't know how many factions there are,
Well, that's
but that does that is their code, is to go out and fight
right.
Jedi
That's-
or whatever.
That's one of the things that I mentioned in one of my predictions by the end of the show, was that I think that Din is going to unite
Right.
the nomadic factions of Mandalorians. Like, I think what it's really going to come down to is, it's not there's like different factions, but I think all the clans went their own separate ways, especially after Mandalore was destroyed the way that it was. I think that I think they're all gonna. I think they all just kind of like went their own separate ways and are kind of just like banding together as far as their own clans go. Because we've seen in we're gonna get to this in a second, but like Din talks about how he was born and raised on Concordia, right? And in the in Clone Wars, they talk about how Concordia was a it was Pre Vizsla and Death Watch kind of like took over Concordia, and that there's a lot of like factions that went to Concordia and things like that separated themselves from the main Mandalorians, because they felt that the Mandalorians on Mandalore were not following the code of Mandalore anymore. So I mean, like,
Right.
I think that it's going to be something more along those lines, where we're going to see like different clans who are working together and stuff like that, but Din is going to find a way to unite all the clans and make Mandalore again. Like,
Right.
to put it in this way, because I hate using this reference, but he's going to
Yes.
make Mandalore great again.
Well,
Yeah.
and that's what I was asking about, what was canon in this, because I can see them, because if they've always been a long opposer of the Jedi, now the Jedi Order is being rebuilt, and that now there's a Jedi trained Mando, that he might unite the Jedi and the Mandos together with Grogu.
Right. I mean, and
Yeah.
that's also a possibility. It was never that the Mandalorians were against the Jedi. It was just more that
The Empire paid better.
Right.
a lot of it was just more, and it wasn't even that. Like, the for the most part, we don't see very many Mandalorians within Star Wars lore. You see a lot of clones, right, which are technically clones of Mandalorians, and you
Right.
see Boba Fett and Jango Fett. Jango Fett became a clanless mercenary, and
Right.
Boba Fett is not Mandalorian by creed; he's Mandalorian by birth. So it's kind of like, and even then, most Mandalorians don't consider him Mandalorian because he's a clone of his father. So it's like, because he's not. So and his father was a foundling to begin with. So it's kind of like,
Yeah, he's got a shaky claim anyway. So
right. The only reason, because his chain code, it gave him rights to that armor, because his father passed down the armor to him, technically, because his father died. But I mean, like, the armor was passed to him, and by Mandalorian right, that was his armor.
Right.
And I think the armor had been passed down to Django from his from the whoever took him in, because the whole
Because
family
that was part of the
so-
Fett family, right? That
yeah.
That armor was a part of his clan. Now, what I also noticed, and I think about this all the time, right? So your sigil is based on your clan and your accomplishments. The
Mhm.
fact that Django's armor had the mythosaur on it means that, in my mind, that he came from an Imperial clan.
Oh, okay, yeah. I mean, that does make sense.
Because the mythosaur is the representation of all of Mandalore, which
Mhm.
means that in order to have the mythosaur on your armor, that you had to be a part of one of the Imperial clans, which probably also is part of the reason why Bo-Katan, doesn't really like him, because she probably recognized the Imperial sigil on him and was just like, you do not belong to that clan.
Yeah. I could see that.
And James says tribes. Bo-Katan calls them tribes.
She does call them tribes.
Mhm.
They're trying to, steer clear of
Clan.
words.
I'm part of the
words.
14th Legion clan. What are you talking about, Phil?
So again, I jumped into a whole bunch of stuff there, but R5D4 apparently served in the Rebel Alliance. Now we get R5D4 reintroduced again. This is the third time he's been introduced in here. And
That little droid that could.
the little droid that could, the droid that sabotaged his own motivator because he believed that R2D2 had to be sold to the Lars family, which was confirmed in some of the expanded universe stuff, but has also been brought up in some of the Rebel Alliance stuff, some of the books that are canon now. So and then Pelimoto was overstating the significance of R5 and how brave he was, even though he was kind of being a coward. So I mean, like,
he's like, I don't want to do this. Why are you making me do this?
A lot of it also, like, there's speculation that R5, the reason that he's afraid is they're giving him a lot of human emotions in this, but it has more to do with PTSD than it has to do with him being a coward. It's more that just he's been through a lot and doesn't want to go through more of it.
Yeah.
Well,
probably needs a good mind wipe.
Yeah, I was gonna say he's a droid, which makes it weird, but I mean, like, they do give droids kind of like human like emotions in Star Wars. So
yep.
Well,
they do.
I mean, you're talking about the book that came out a couple of years ago, but I believe in Tales from Tatooine and from Mos Eisley that he also has a story in there as well in the expanded universe.
Right.
This little droid's been around.
Oh yeah, he's been around a lot.
Yeah.
So again, I mentioned earlier about the moon of Concordia, and it is kind of cool that when Din's giving Grogu a
kind of a tour,
like a navigation lesson, like he's giving him a lesson on navigation. He points out Concordia, and that's where I'm from. I'm from the moon of Concordia, which again has a long history with Death Watch. So.
Yep, it does. And then what was the other? I can't ever remember the other moon where the Kreese family.
I always forget the name.
And it's like something like C as well, like Ka or C something. I don't know. Anyway, in the chat, if you guys know in the chat, let us know. But it was just cool that it was all there and he could point it out and talk about how if you know how to do this, you'll never be lost, kind of thing. And so that's kind of neat.
Well, because they don't really depend on droids. That's the whole idea. Is that they have to learn to read the star maps themselves.
And it's just cute. It's such a cute dad thing to do.
Yeah, absolutely is.
Yeah.
So.
This is funny. I pulled it up on Wikipedia.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And it shows it lists moons of Mandalore, Concordia, and the second moon.
Oh my god.
I thought that was funny. I was like, seriously? Like they didn't on Wikipedia they couldn't put the name of it on here? Okay.
See that?
3, 4.
I'm like, 6,
7, 8, 9. Apparently, there's 9 planets in the Mandalore system.
Oh wow, that's
Makes
cool.
sense.
And
well, maybe it's another planet then.
Yeah, Mandalore is the 5th planet in the orbit.
Well, it was close enough where you could see Mandalore and Concordia and her place. So her little 1-bedroom apartment that she's got in.
So there's a planet that they have called Shukut. It has 30 moons.
Wow.
That thing is ridiculous. That's huge.
I mean, they don't know whether they're coming or going, honestly.
I know, right?
Think about the waves on that planet.
I know.
That would just be crazy.
It's got to be cool. It's probably a gas giant. I guarantee it. It's
probably
that big. Especially like kind of where it is. It's the 8th planet in the orbit, so it's probably.
It's further away. Yeah, so it probably would be a gas giant.
So next Easter egg, and this is a pretty exciting one. Din Djarin's pressurized Mandalorian helmet. Right.
Yeah, that I thought that was really cool. So I'm interested in what you're gonna say.
Yeah, so there's always been intense debate about how Mandalorian helmets work in terms of navigating toxic and deadly environments. That answer was finally given to us in episode 3 or episode 2 of season 3. So he pressurizes his helmet on the harsh environment of Mandalore, and the audio nod is like a Vader nod, right? You get the artificial breathing, and it's got the breathing stuff. So it's a cool subtle nod to Vader. But it's kind of cool that we see that they can pressurize their helmets when they're in like environments that are more harsh.
And didn't he say about he did the same thing to Grogu's little pod?
His pod, yeah, he can pressurize the pod.
Yeah, he can pressurize his pod too. So that was kind of cool. I was like, that's really neat.
Well, see, that makes sense because his pod he was in for a while, so he has to have oxygen circulation. But I mean, the idea of the suit. I mean, you'd have to have the pressurized suit built into it, obviously, because obviously just armor pieces that overlay everything else. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But I think it was more because he thought that it was the atmosphere was poisonous.
Right.
And so he wanted to filter out the poison. So that's, I mean, honestly, I think that's what it was pressurized for. But I wouldn't see like if they had tactical outfits, like maybe once upon a time they did, that it wouldn't have just like Bluetoothed in or something. I don't know.
Bluetooth in?
Yeah, you're like, hey, are you connected to my breastplate? Okay, let's get this. Let's do the shit. You know, kind of thing. I mean,
that's pretty funny.
There are hey, worse science out there. I'm just telling you, there are worse sciences out there. So.
It is. I mean, it is Star Wars. Like everything's sensational in Star Wars. So, let's get into the weight of the Darksaber, man. So, it Din still does not have a complete hold on using the saber, right? It's still heavy for him. He still can't use it very well. It's very unwieldy for him. He gets attacked by a bunch of Alamites, and he can barely keep it together, holding that saber up. Versus a little bit further down the line, you know, when he gets kidnapped,
and Bo-Katan picks it up.
Bo-Katan picks it up, and she, dude, like
it's like she was born to wield it.
Right.
I mean, it is she's just amazing with it.
Yeah, because you can see, like, you know, she wields it with such like expertise, and finesse. Yeah, and that's one of the things that they talk about is the Darksaber. Where is it? I have it right here. So the Darksaber responds to the will of its wielder, right? And Din doesn't have a hold on it, but Bo-Katan has a lot of internal consistency and resolution and purpose. So she's able to wield it in a way because she's been training her whole life to be the leader of Mandalore. So she has this willpower that Din just doesn't have. Din's still trying to find himself.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think it has more to do with inner conflict. Like if you have major inner conflict, and Din does. I mean, he's wrestling with a lot of stuff. He's got a lot of stuff on it. He's a single dad. His beloved spaceship was incinerated.
It definitely was.
Then he had to have a fight with this crazy dude who kind of wanted to fight him, kind of didn't, wanted Grogu. I mean, he was teased throughout the whole, like 2 freaking seasons. And then, you know, so he's like got anxiety. He's probably a little depressed, especially since he took his helmet off. So he's got depression, anxiety, PTSD. We know he's got that.
Yeah, definitely.
You know, he's got a lot of stuff on his plate. So I'm just saying that no wonder that I'm surprised he can lift the thing.
Yeah,
because the Darksaber's like, look, dude, you have way too much shit going on. Yeah. I don't even want to be in this relationship, kind of thing. Like, I'm just getting out now before I get attached.
And then Forrest mentioning in the chat that Sabine was decent with it. But she always mentioned that the Darksaber was heavier than she ever thought it was. So I mean, like even I think she was able to kind of like counter the weight of it just by kind of just with her level of skill. But the thing is that she also, I don't think she was meant for it in the same way that Din wasn't meant for it.
But
'Cause-
I think that she knew who she was. Like, I honestly, it comes down to that for me, is that she knew who she was. She knew what she was fighting for, and she knew who she was.
Right.
And Den doesn't have that. I
Yeah.
don't know if he ever will, to
because
be honest.
Din is fighting that a lot. Like he wants to be, like his whole thing is his entire way of life is Death Watch, and he's learning that there are other ways, and he's just like, I don't know what I'm supposed to believe or how I'm supposed to believe things. Now this episode, of course, we get, you know, he does still have a lot more resolution than it seems, because, you know, we see him, you know, reciting the words and going into the water. You know, we see him, it was kind of callous the way that he mentions it, but Bo-Katan talks about her father and his sacrifice, and Din looks at her, rather than it being like, you know, rather than him identifying with her sadness that her father gave his life for Mandalore, he reveres him almost, and is like,
Yeah.
you know, she was like, he gave his life for Mandalore, and he goes, this is the way.
Yeah.
And again, it may not have been the way that he should have said it to her, because she's more in touch with her emotions than he is.
Right.
But at the same time, he was honoring her father and saying that he gave the ultimate sacrifice the way that a Mandalorian should.
It's the warrior's death.
It's the
Yeah.
warrior's death, right?
Well,
That
and then you
died
saw
not
like
way defend
as Din got into the went into the water, that she looked at the way she looked at him, and I granted did she have her helmet on? No, she didn't have her helmet on then.
No.
But the way she was looking at him as he was reciting it going into the water, as like, even though she's, you know, she's partially like, look, most of this is bullshit, you know, but like he started doing that, and she just like, she went silent and just watched him go in, almost like she was like, wow, I feel like I'm witnessing something really important.
Right.
You know, I mean, it was really good.
Like the whole thing is, she grew up with everything being arbitrary, right? She grew up with all of this stuff just being like, these are all ceremonial things that we don't believe in anymore. And to see somebody who actually believed in the traditions and the ceremonies that the Mandalorians once believed in, you know, it's almost like she's seeing it in a new way in the first time, for the first time, as a princess that she took for granted, right?
Yeah.
She talks about bathing in the waters of like bathing in the sacred waters as a tradition, and something that she had to do because she was the princess of Mandalore, versus seeing him willingly do it and believe that he is going to be cleansed, and seeing the religious aspect of what she knows that her people once believed in. So I think a lot of it, exactly what James said in the chat, it's restoring her faith.
Yeah, I think that both of them grew a lot in this episode. Learned a lot, and are getting closer together, whereas their characters really started far apart. I think they're moving closer together, and they're getting closer than ever.
Right.
And I like it.
To a marriage, perhaps?
Yes, I definitely think that. I mean,
I still don't think they're going to get married. And the reason I don't think they're going to get married is because I think that they're trying to move away from those types of tropes.
I think that's the way to do it. You either, and I'm going to say this, and it's crude, I apologize. Either fuck it or fight it, right?
Yeah.
That's really the two things. Those are like the primal instincts, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so they won't believe in it, but the other people will. And to get them to unite, I think it'll happen. I think it's going to be just a political thing. I don't think it's going to have any bearing on whatever. I think that'll be later when they do, like, you know, Mandalorian After Dark or whatever. And but I do
series, I think that Din's gonna die. As much as I don't want Din to die, I think by the end of the series he's gonna sacrifice himself, and that he is gonna become a symbol for Mandalore.
Yeah, I think somebody's got to sacrifice themselves. So it's either going to be Den or it's going to be Bo.
Right.
One of those two. And I think at the end of the series, uh, Grogu is going to be the Mandalore. I think he's going to take the dark saber, and yeah,
Yeah, and the reason that I think that, because we don't see Din in any of the stuff that's post Mandalorian, like in any of the things that are post, but we do hear about Bo-Katan. So it's
yeah,
I think that Bo-Katan, I think that Din ends up sacrificing himself at some point by the end of the show, and Bo-Katan uses him as a symbol to unite the people.
and that would be great because that'll make her a widow, and then she lets her son become Mandalore, and she becomes Queen Regent. There we go. We're done. It's over. We've written the ending. Jon Favreau, call us, and we will give you that ending.
Exactly. You can have it now. We do get to visit Sundari, and this is the first time that we see Sundari post.
That's the name, Sundari. That's
okay.
where she's from. If we just look down a little. All right.
Sundari. So Sundari is the capital city on Mandalore. And again, so we do get to see Sundari post glassing of Mandalore, and it's just the Easter egg of it is it's still built the same way that we saw in the Clone Wars in season 7, but it's completely ruined and destroyed.
It's just blackened and it looks like obsidian almost.
Yeah, like the city is just destroyed, but it's like we get to see Sundari after the Empire destroyed it and glassed the planet. So it's kind of cool to see Sundari in a post-apocalyptic kind of thing.
Yeah. And I liked the reaction of both of the Mandalorians in this.
Yeah.
So Din was like, hey, this is where our people are from. And he's all positive about it. And then Bo comes with Grogu and she's like, it didn't used to be like this. It used to be beautiful. It used to. And so you can see where they're coming from. I liked that, how they did that, how they had Grogu basically go through the same thing, twice, so he could see both perspectives. And I think that's more important than probably what we all realize. But
right now, this was a really cool thing, and I hope we get to see more of this. But we see Bo-Katan's gauntlet.
Oh yeah, that ship.
That ship is so badass. So we've seen it in Clone Wars. I know, right? We've seen it in Clone Wars. We've seen it in every property. Whenever we see Bo-Katan in a ship. We saw it for a second in season 2, but we actually get to see it like kind of fly in and see some of the movements of the ship.
Yeah.
I want to see combat capabilities this season. I want to see her in a dogfight in that ship and just wrecking shit.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah, because
I want to see how it bangs.
Badass ship. Yeah,
it's beautiful ship.
Pedro Pascal walking through a post-apocalyptic city with some creatures looking in the shadows. This is The Last of Us.
Yeah, I think this is going to be my methadone to get over The Last of Us is the rest of the Mandalorian.
Yeah, I know, right? So we do get to see Bo-Katan's Mandalorian shield, again, something that we've seen in Rebels, something that we've seen in Clone Wars. Kind of cool to see it in live action. So she has the shield, and then she's also using it where she's wielding the dark saber. So she's got almost like a traditional knight situation going on with the shield on her arm and the lightsaber and the dark saber in her hand.
It's very, very twist on the paladin type of thing. So
it is. Oh my god. So it's cool that we see the hollow shield when she's fighting the Alamites and everything like that. It's it's not just her armor that she's relying on. She has other means to protect.
Did you notice that her shield is blue, but Vizsla's, whoever the Vizsla
Paz
is, Paz Vizsla, his was orange, like gold, in Book of Boba Fett. So I thought that was a cool detail that hers is blue, where she, if you look at her clan, it's blue as well with the Kreese clan. So I just thought that was a neat touch that they made hers a different color than Pa's.
And I know that within Star Wars, a lot of times the color of the shield depicts the strength of the shield as well.
Mm.
You know, so like especially like, okay, so if you look at you look at battle droids, for example, right? A lot of times if there was a battle droid that was shielded, it would have like a yellow shield, and then you would see the droidicas had blue shields.
Yeah, blue, and then they turned red when they were failing. And,
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So like, you know, a lot of times the droidica shields were always way stronger than any of the shields that say like a Mark II battle droid had.
Yeah. Oh yeah, absolutely. I just thought it was a kind of a neat color difference that they didn't have to put in, but they did. And so I was like, that's kind of neat. So
right. James
anyway.
Again. James is killing it with the jokes in the chat. Look at this. Bo-Katan. I could do this all day. All right. So the biggest Easter egg of the entire episode, the one thing that we predicted, or I'm not going to say we, that Frey predicted. We only get a glimpse of it, and it is so badass. So Din gets dragged under the water, right? And he's getting kind of like, you know, dragged through the bottom of the living waters. Bo-Katan jumps in, try and rescue him, and she finds him, and she starts pulling him up. She turns on her lights, and we see a mythosaur,
motherfucking mythosaur,
alive under the water.
It looked a little sleepy.
Yeah, who knows how long this fucking thing has been under there. You know, and I mean, there's been a couple of like different like prophecies. You know, of course, there's always been like the Mandalore will return on the back of a mythosaur, but mythosaurs are extinct. So that's the whole thing, is like everybody's like, well, Mandalore will never come back because mythosaurs aren't here. And we see a fucking mythosaur.
Right. Yeah. It's like it's like it's gonna be the second. It's gonna be like, oh, you know, there's also one that was like when the mythosaurs return, it will bring the Mandalorian people together or something like that. And so yeah, but that's why I'm saying audience. They need an audience for this. They can't be the only ones that saw it. And I don't even know if Din saw it.
Oh, I don't think Din saw it at all. I think that was just Bo-Katan seeing it because she reacted to it, and Din was like knocked out at that point. So,
but
I mean,
I do think that they had to be together for it to happen. I think there's something in that. They are bound in some way by this. So
yeah, I mean, just seeing the mythosaur under the water again. Mandalore was the rider of the mythosaur. He was the only being to ever tame a mythosaur and ride it.
Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I was going to say, one of the things that I wonder about is we don't know how long mythosaurs live for, right? And the reason I say that is because what if this is the same mythosaur that Mandalore rode?
I was thinking that too. I was wondering if it's the same one or if it's just one, like, you know, it was an egg and, you know, they buried it, or it was there, like the other mythosaurs buried it there, and it's the last surviving mythosaur. And then, you know, but I wonder if it is the same one. I think that would be really cool if it was.
It's going to be interesting because we've seen a lot of like artist renditions of mythosaurs. So it's going to be interesting to see what a full-size mythosaur is going to look like now that this is going to be the canon version of a mythosaur, right? Like, it's going to be interesting to see what it looks like.
And the beasts do seem to be getting bigger each season, if you've noticed. It's
like that's one of the foreshadowing, right? Like foreshadowing with this, like the first thing that happens in the show, spoilers again, is that that Din takes down this giant croc monster, right? So I mean, he can take down big beasts. It's not a problem, right?
The problem's going to be is that they don't need to take it down. They need to tame it,
right,
and ride it.
You know, and again, I love what these guys are doing as far as like bringing in a lot of these mythological creatures that we've never seen in Star Wars. Like we saw a crate dragon last season,
Right.
right?
And how big was that? I mean, they lived a long time.
Huge.
Too,
Yeah.
I believe.
That thing was gigantic. You know, it was a less ugly Tremor.
Right. Yeah. But I mean, yeah, and that's so it's got to be huge. And I think it's going to be like a Giganotosaurus size.
Yeah, I mean, this thing.
I think it's going to be huge.
This thing is going to be gigantic, right?
Yeah.
You know,
And then you're going to have little Grogu on it, and all you're going to see is this little like green pinprick on him.
Oh
That's
no!
it.
An egg there'll be an egg there that he doesn't eat. It'll hatch and he'll have his own mythosaur to ride.
Yes. Oh, and then we can fully realize the Mandalorian is Game of Thrones.
I know, right? The Rider of Dragons. Another thing to think about too is what if, and I know if we go the route of Knights of the Old Republic, right? The Great Uniter was not a Force wielder, right? Mandalore the Great was not a Force wielder, but what if given that Knights of the Old Republic is now not canon and they've been slowly bringing canon, like parts of it back into canon, what if they make it to where Mandalore the Great was a Force wielder and that's how he could tame the mythosaur? Because remember, and again, this would go with the themes of the show, right? That would make Grogu the one that tames the mythosaur.
Right. I think that's where they are leading, because they had the Purgles in the first one and he noticed them. And they had already set it up because Ezra could communicate with them. So we know that power's already out there.
Well, we know that you can do that because he essentially tamed the Rancor for a second, and then same thing in the first season with the Mudhorn. I mean, like, you know, we've seen that Grogu can communicate with animals, right? So it's just kind of like, you know, what is the one that tames the mythosaur?
Well,
I think it's been leading up to that. No, go ahead.
Do you think that's just an innate trait of his species? Because Yoda lived on a planet where he is definitely not the biggest life form ever, and he would probably be able to live and be able to keep the big beast, essentially live outside his cave, his hut, at bay. So maybe it's just a natural trait of the species.
Right. Now the thing is that because of the mystery behind their race, I don't think he's from Dagobah. I think he went in exile on Dagobah because it was hard to find him there.
But he did go where there was a lot of life, so he would have need to have known how to survive in that climate. Right. So I do think that could be part of it.
Right.
I have a really out there theory because I've been studying the Mandalorian since this season started again, and I'm like, and I might have a theory about Yoda's species.
Okay.
So in the expanded universe, the Tongs were the ones that first came to Mandalore, and they had the mask and everything. And Mandalore, the first actual Mandalore wore that mask, and they passed it down from generations. I'm wondering if the Tongs are the same species as Yoda's people, but the ones that left, they evolved differently than the ones that stayed.
Interesting.
And so they have a common ancestor. And I'm wondering if that's what it is. I have no basis on this. I just heard the name and I was like, if they bring this part of it into canon and the mask and everything, it might be a backdoor to that it was actually a different like ancestor of Yoda's people, and that might be like, you know, they may actually also be called the Tongs or whatever. They may be called something else. But I just was like, wouldn't that be interesting? And that's why this is all coming. But then, you know, I said that they're going to get married. So what do I know?
This one right here, Graveyard will understand what I'm saying here. Like, I hope that when they reveal what Grogu's race is, that they're not going to do it in a way where it's like a big reveal. I feel like the best way for them to do it is the way that Destiny did the Elixni. Right? right? Where it was like they called them the Fallen throughout the entire game, but then all
Yep.
of a sudden they just started referring to them as the Elixni,
Yes.
right? So like,
Yeah.
you know, and I think that would be a cool call, like where it's just they refer to it in a way where it's just normal and it's not just like a big thing, and you just like almost like
Yeah.
a blink and you'll miss it kind of thing.
Yeah.
Right. Like I like the idea of that because then it's normalized and it's not like well, here's a big reveal, right? I would rather the reveal be, you know, Grogu in his first words.
Yeah.
I'm also curious as to whether they're going to make Yoda's speech pattern a unique thing or if Grogu's going to speak that way too.
Yaddle didn't speak that way.
And that's what I was-
Yeah, that's yeah.
that way, and neither did the characters from Knights of the Old Republic.
Yeah, they didn't. They spoke. They spoke.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They spoke normal. So I kind of want Yoda's speech pattern to be something unique.
Well, his first master, like when he became a Padawan, that's how he spoke. So I'm wondering if that's just not out of respect for his first master, that's just he took on that speaking pattern.
And that's the other thing is if you notice, Yoda doesn't always speak like that. If you go back and watch the original series, the original movies, right? Like
Mhm.
he spoke like that every now and then, but then like when he got really serious, his speech pattern went normal.
Yeah, I think it's an affectation.
I felt like he's more of he was playing the Joker, the jester, versus the
Right.
sage.
Yeah,
because-
like the Loki part of it. you
Well,
know?
it's the idea that if someone came across him and if he spoke like that, they wouldn't think he's a higher life form.
Right, because he's like,
Mhm.
you know, hurt you, I will not.
Right.
Yeah.
You know?
It's almost like the idea was a parrot mimicking
Mhm.
stuff. So
Right.
he doesn't speak basic well enough to be a higher life form.
Yeah.
Right.
And then
Or
and
it could be the opposite.
when you
he's-
see, oh, I'm sorry, I was gonna say
Go
when
ahead.
you get serious, right? He's like, and he starts hitting Luke with the with this cane, right?
Yeah.
He goes, ever with your mind on or always with your mind in the clouds, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, never focused on what you have to do. You know, like he would get serious and his speech pattern would get normal.
Mhm.
So it's just kind of like, you know, I kind of feel like as much as everybody, and especially like when you go back to the prequel trilogy and they kind of overemphasize his speech pattern like that, I feel like still at that point he doesn't normally speak like that, but that's deliberate that he does that, and it also makes it seem like he's speaking in riddles even though he's not.
Well,
Right.
he's always supposed to make you question. He's always in that teacher mode, and the enigma that he is.
Mhm.
But did we ever figure out where his species from? Because my best bet is from where the Force originated, because his species seems to be the best, the biggest in midichlorian counts. So therefore, they're around the most creatures living Force to be able to soak it in. They don't really evolve very fast because their lifespan's so long too. So they have to be one of the original species in the universe,
I mean, that could be a thing.
and that's why there's not a lot of them.
I mean, it could be that. I love all of these. I think it's all fantastic because we don't know anything, and deliberately George Lucas won't say. So,
Oh yeah, yeah.
so
And
that's
I think that's also Favreau and Filoni are doing the same thing. Is that they're trying to still keep it kind of a secret, you know?
well, because I think they're respecting what George wants, and George wants to keep it a secret. And and to be honest with you, if I never find out, I'll be okay. I mean, I just call them by their name, and I don't think of them from this planet. They're this type of person, And
Right.
so, and maybe that's a good thing, right? We don't know where they're from. We're not going to like shame them for what happened in their planet or
Right.
what kind of, they were on this side versus that side in this war, because we have no clue. So
before we move on, give me your ratings for the episodes, guys. We'll start with Grave. What was your rating on this episode?
8 chasms out of 10 sealed cryo suits.
All right.
Nice.
Pray.
All right, so I'm gonna say 9 sassy Bo-Katans
Ooh.
out of 10 bumbling over his head Mandos.
Okay. I'm also going to give this 9 self-flying R5 units in a Naboo starfighter out of 10 weird monsters with human-like eyes but are still robots somehow. So
I'm like, none of us said anything about Mythosaur. I'm so proud of all of
Yeah.
us. We're waiting on that because we're gonna have more Mythosaur.
Right.
Mythosaur is gonna be on the store shelves this Christmas. All the plushies you can want.
I know, right? Forrest in the chat said 10 Mando helmets out of 10 Mando Basilisk attack ships. I like the fact that he actually put the class of ship that her ship is.
That's awesome.
You know, just kind of like how a fire spray is the type of ship that the slave one is. So
yeah.
You
mean Boba Fett's ship? They don't call it Slave One anymore.
Yeah, I get where the problem with that is, but also they're trying to turn him into an anti-hero, and it's like, yeah, keep in mind that Bubba was a dirtbag in the original movies, and Slave was his character.
Yeah.
But that on that, we've already talked about predictions and where we think everything's going to go. So that is it for the breakdown this week, ladies and gentlemen.
Woohoo!
Woo! You know, we really should put more time on the whole Mando stuff because we tend to just talk about Mando no matter
No.
But you know what I'm going to talk about right now?
what.
The fact that we have merch, people.
What?
Oh, that's right, ladies and gentlemen. We've got merch.
I didn't know that. No, I'm just kidding.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have the merch. We have the merch like Arby's has the meats. If you guys are interested in some merch, hats are $35 each or $30 each if you want multiple hats. Galaxy Gray is currently available right now. You see the baller black on the top of Graveyard's head right there. It is beautiful.
And the head is, yes, the head's not. No.
And his beard in so many different ways. Now we also
very
have
complimentary to the beard. It accents it very well.
Now we also have shirts. If you guys are interested in shirts cost $20 if you're local, $25 if we got to ship it to you. Just DM us at Distance Nerding. Of course, if you're going to be at in Idaho at Gem State Comic Con, we're going to have merch there. If you're interested in buying some merch, then we will be selling it there at our lowest price. So there you go, ladies and gentlemen. Now, Lucharillas. Got to shout out Eric. Yeah, got to shout out Eric and Luis over at Lucharillas. Guys, if you're interested in Lucharillas merch, I'm actually going to post it in the chat right now. Lucharillas is the brand partnership that we have with Lucharillas. I said that wrong.
I was going to say, did you guys partner with somebody else?
I totally said that wrong, but no, yeah, we have a partnership with Lucharillas. If you guys want to check out the Distance Nerdarilla shirt, if you guys want to check out all the different stuff that they have, check it out. Distance Nerdarilla, the badass ape that is rocking the singlet. Check that. There is a bump box with the Distance Nerdarilla on it. We also do have shirts and various different things. So head over to lucharillas.com. Check that out. Now, moving on from that, we got to talk about the schedule, guys. We got to talk about all the different things that we do here at Distance Nerding. Ladies and gentlemen, on Mondays, game streams from 8 to 12 where you can see Grave cracking all the best jokes in the chat. His Grave is now the moderator of the game streams on Twitch. And we've been playing Hogwarts Legacy. It is a great game. I don't care what these reviews have been saying about like how bad they think it is. This game is great. The story is good. The fight mechanics remind me of Arkham Asylum, but with like a wand. It's badass. I really like the way that the fight mechanics are in this game. It's a fun game. The side quests don't feel like it's like too much like Assassin's Creed, where it feels like there's too many of them. I didn't want to stop the stream on Monday, but it was like I have things I have to do, so I can't keep playing. But I really wanted to keep on playing, and I almost kind of want to like set up another stream sometime this week so I can keep playing. But guys,
and remember, Purvis is not an acceptable name.
Purvis. No,
So
Purvis.
I couldn't use Purvis. I couldn't use, what was the other one that we
Fanny
called?
Bottom.
Fanny Bottom. So we couldn't use him. We couldn't call him Fanny.
That's funny.
Yeah. Which now we could have called him Peevis, and that probably would have been
Right. Peevis. Oh yeah, that's fine. No
There's a
Purvis,
character named
but
Peevis.
or Peavy,
Yeah.
PB.
right? Peavy would have worked. But
Peavy.
but Peter works too.
Ah, there we go.
Right? His name is
Classic.
Peter Underbottom. Tuesdays, download the show you're watching right now from 6:30 to 8:30. We talk news, we talk rumors, we talk reviews. Right now, we're doing the breakdown every week. So, guys, come and check us out, hang out, give us all your feedback because we love hearing from everybody. Thursdays, the build from 6 to 8 Pacific Standard Time. This week, I'm gonna start. Brain fart. I'm gonna start
DeLorean.
The Mandalorian. The Mandalorian. Yeah, the
The
DeLorean.
I'm gonna start the DeLorean, and it looks like I'm gonna be doing the DeLorean from Back to the Future 2, so the flying one. So we're gonna do the DeLorean this week. I'm gonna build that with Mr. What was it, Mr. Fusion?
Yeah, Mr. Fusion.
So we're gonna get that all set up. I'm giving away a kit this week, guys. So you just have to be in the chat. All you got to do is be in the chat. I'm probably gonna give it away around 7:00. So be in the chat when we give it away. All you got to do is just be there. And
If you're not in the chat, he threatened to send it to me, and I said absolutely not. So you guys have to back me up now.
exactly. If you're not in the chat when we give it away, you're not gonna get a chance to win it. So make sure you're in the chat. Tell your friends. And get everybody in there, or I guess some people wouldn't want to do that because it's less chances for them to win. But remember,
No, tell your friends that don't want it to get in there, and then when they win it, they can give it to you.
Exactly. Remember, RNGesus. It's RNG, so there's nothing in there that's doesn't matter how many of anything you do. It's a random number generator. I can't. That being said, ladies and gentlemen, of course, this week we've got Creative Gang coming in. They are local to Sacramento, but they're a local anime studio. So they've been doing like cartoons and anime and everything like that. And we met them at Sac Anime. They're really fun organization. So we're gonna be talking with them. Yes, James, you are a moderator in there. Someone check on Young Phil.
I'll be right there.
Wait, it is a exclusive Year of the Rabbit kit. So actually have it right here. Let me grab it. Right there. This little
And now we have seen Phil's pajama pants.
yes, my pajama pants.
So it's a rabbit for Year
It's
of
a
the
rabbit, right? And it is a Year of the Rabbit edition, Year of the Rabbit kit. So I'm going to be giving this guy away on Thursday. Again, no purchase necessary. There's nothing you have to do aside from being in the chat. That all being said, that is it for us this week, guys. I need you guys to give me.
Don't forget the March Nerdness bracket.
That's right. We're doing the
Yes.
March Nerdness bracket now. What do we got going on with that, Grave? What are we doing?
Since we got rid of the worst, ranked the worst movie.
That was fun. Michael was helpful in that too.
Yes,
from
Michael
Paper
Glass
Tigers.
is great for that.
We are going to do the best of the Fox/Sony Marvel movies.
Best.
Oh,
Yes.
you know,
Well, worse, we already know what it's if it's gonna be Morbin time or
It's
not.
Morbin time.
that's gonna be the hardest one for me because I'm not a fan of most of them. So
Morbin Time is going to be on the bottom of that list. So is X3. All right. X-Men United, even though half those characters were not X-Men characters because they were X-Men characters in name only. For anybody who's an X-Men fan, if you liked X-Men 3, I wouldn't consider you an X-Men fan. I'm sorry. It's just,
I'm the Juggernaut. Bitch.
I liked the outfits in X3.
I guess to an extent, kind of.
I did. I liked the outfits. The outfits were good.
I didn't like Phoenix as a Scarlet Witch.
Yeah, that was weird. I was like, "Are you Scarlet Witch or are you the Dark Phoenix?" Dark Phoenix.
Archangel was kind of cool though.
I thought that was cool.
I did think that Archangel was kind of cool the way that he looked, at least.
Yeah,
he definitely wasn't the angel that we all know and love, but he did look kind of cool. So, so again, guys, that being it for us. Grave, put yourself over, sir. Let everybody know where they can find you. What are your pluggables?
Yes. So I am Graveyard, co-host of the Mostly Pod Out at Night Mostly podcast, where we have a new episode dropping in 33 minutes right now. So we release those at midnight every Wednesday morning. So anywhere you get your pods, I'm also uploading to YouTube and coming soon to ComicConRadio.com, where we upload new stuff and hopefully doing exclusive stuff for them as well. So you can find us anywhere. All our tags are now changed to Pod Out at Night. So that's on your Instagram, it's on your Twitter, it's on your Facebook. Check us out. Join us. On top of that, you can also find me at Kyber Cave Productions, where I host Retro Alcove, where I play with some of my great friends at Kyber Cave and all the old school games that you could possibly want. On top of that, you can find me usually after the build, gaming with Forz live on Thursday nights at whenever the build ends on Pacific time. And then Friday, Kyber Cave After Dark at 8 p.m. Pacific. And this Saturday, we have a new show coming out called Saturday Morning Nerd Out, which is going to be 10 a.m.
Saturday Morning Nerd Out
Pacific, where it's going to be an hour long, 15, 20 minutes per segment. We're just talking movies, video games, and TV shows nerding out. And we have a horror corner where we discuss the latest horror movie. And each one of our guests will have a chance each week, one person a week, to nerd out for 20 minutes straight.
I don't know if I can fill 20 minutes. I can try.
I'm getting you on Rogue Theory. So
there we go.
They mostly
Pod.
at night. Mostly.
Also on the bill on Thursdays.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
All right, Frey.
Okay, hi, I'm Frey Girl. I'm here on Tuesdays. I do this on Tuesdays, and I also am on the build most Thursdays now. So you can catch me there. I do like to give my opinion out on most of the bracket stuff. Well, I just like my opinion to get out there. So let's just leave it at that. You can find me on Twitter at Frey Girl. Instagram, I am Gotham_Oracle, and on TikTok, I am Gotham.Oracle. If you would like to find me in those places as well, you can. I also do things for Kyber Cave Productions, and I do After Dark with them. I'm gonna be helping out with the Saturday Morning Nerd Out starting this Saturday. So that's fun. You can hear my crazy theories sometimes and live inside my head for a few minutes. Won't that be fun? And I also do this amazing thing called Mod for the New Rock Stars. I do the live break room. They do that Monday through Friday at 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. I'm in the live chat almost every day, so you can always see me there. I also mod for their Discord server, and I'm there most of the time. And I was going to say that, come on. And I was also going to say, we also have a Kyber Cave Discord, and I'm a mod there as well. So, so instead of I have good mom genes, I have good mod genes. But other than that, you can catch me in Distance Nerding, Kyber Cave. I occasionally put a short out about my dogs on my channel. If you like corgis, they're funny. So, all right. But that's me in a nutshell.
And young Phil, where can we find you?
Shut
up. My money.
All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, y'all know me. You guys know. If you're watching this show, you know who I am. If you're listening to the show, you know who I am.
Never met you before in my life.
Ever.
Ever.
I am your boy, Young Phil. Of course, I am all over everything distance nerding. I try to be on everything that you see. If it has our name on it, I'm usually there. So just to kind of move us out right here, guys. Have something you want to discuss. Take me off here. Have something you want to discuss. Tell us what you're nerding out on, and make sure to let us know in the Facebook group, The Distance Nerdington Post. Now, guys, I say it every week. I say it all the time. Top left, when you go to distancenerding.com, you can buy us a taco. Join the taco party. Yes.
It is Taco Tuesday.
Exactly. And that's why I say it every Tuesday, is because it is Taco Tuesday. You can buy us tacos and all the wonderful things that come along with that. You support us. In turn, we do better things for you, and we can get better content out for you guys. Now, of course, guys, connect with us at Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, TikTok, YouTube, Discord, all at Distance Nerding. Now, with that all being said, of course, remember to send us an email, guys. You can go over to, or you can send us an email at distancenerding@aol.com. And we will read it on air. Yes, I know the T and the A are separate from each other. I know it weirds you guys out for those who are watching. The listeners could care less. Guys, send us an email, distancenerding@aol.com.
If you want us to say a certain word, send us an email and we'll incorporate it into the show. You want to tell somebody that you want to marry them and it be a really fun, crazy engagement? Tell us. We'll do it. We'll make it happen. Now listen, we're not going to just randomly have you engaged to random girls that don't know you exist, okay?
Yeah.
Or for random boys that don't know you exist. It's got to be somebody that you are actively in a relationship with. So I had to put that out there because I know some people that would do that.
Yeah.
I
can't do weird relationship stuff for you guys.
That's not cool. But you want to break up with someone, again, must be in an active relationship. All rules apply. And yeah, we'll do that for you too. You just let us know, but you got to send those emails.
Yeah. Send us an email, guys. Let us know what's on your mind. Tell us what you want to see. Tell us what you want to see. Tell us what you want to see us do something on the show. You want to see us talk about something on the show. I seriously want to know what you guys are nerding out on. Tell me what it is that you are nerding out on currently so I can talk about it on the show, right? I don't care what it is.
One chip challenge. Let's do this.
You know, it's funny. And again, I don't want to tell too many stories right now, but I have been talking with a new charity, it's a veterans charity, to do a game stream, and they were talking about don't do things on your stream that you normally wouldn't do, like the one chip challenge. Seeing people almost kill themselves doing that.
Yeah.
Although it is funny to us, it is not funny for you to almost die on screen.
Right.
So
yeah,
things like that, but I mean, if there's anything you guys are nerding out on, you want to tell us to do, or you just tell it like seriously, just like you want to nerd out on something and you want us to read it on air, go for it.
Or if you think we're totally wrong on a theory, like my marriage theory of Bo-Katan and Din Djarin, tell us that. Tell me I'm a crazy person. I hear it all the time. Trust me. So I'm not going to get hurt. My feelings will not get hurt if you call me crazy. I promise.
That's actually probably going to be my Spotify question this week. Do you think Frey Girl is? Well, that's it from us, guys. Thanks, and keep nerding together. It is now time for the dance party. Are you guys ready?
I am so ready.
All right. Well, let's get this going. Oh, yeah.
Distance.
Roll out. Huzzah! Let me at him. Let me at him. See you guys on Thursday.